in the middle as well. Looks to be Jacob Wood. Nate Paredes is in there, and the umpire holds it up. We're about to get this one underway. Horseman and Farrell. Horseman got the tap down towards Drew direction. Farrell has to go again and dive on it. The umpire says, let's do this one again. Troy, mate.
Two boys, Wood and Paredes, going toe-to-toe already in the middle of the ground. Farrell and Horseman. Farrell gets it over the top, goes down to Nabilius, gets a handball out wide. Link up play, ends up out with Emery, goes short over the top, finds Kim Drew, who's worked from that clearance, chips the ball forward. Stanley comes off his man, coming across the front was Paredes. Just seeing the ball over the line is Joel Braganolo, 70 metres around from Warrigul's goal.
The boundary umpire will put this one back in play. The ruckman put their hand up, Horseman and Farrell again. As we said, half forward flank build up for the Warrigul side. A little bit of a push out by Farrell, got his hand on it. Good work there on that occasion. The quick one by was Wood, who Wood, who got the quick kick away to half forward, but Rennie takes the mark for Warrigul. It was a bit of a dust up on centre wing as Wood got dumped. Sarong went up high at half forward, didn't mark, but was quick on his feet. Inside forward, 50 it goes. Was there strong from Braganolo, was
Prestige.
it? Prestige, who's wearing the number 18 this afternoon. He's been rewarded for holding the ball, and he clears it out towards Darnell Grech at his defensive 50.
He's got a man over the top, but that's a scrubby kick forward, looking to find his teammate Jay Murphy, a late inclusion. Has to go and gather his own ball. Wood handballs over the top to Grech, volleyballs it over to Harry Sim, runs to centre wing, looking for a teammate up forward. Dugan gets it on the bounce, gathers nicely, waiting for an option over the top. Sims followed up, 1-2 with Dugan. Pressure comes, he's got equal to that pressure, gets the old 3-4. Stevenson puts the pressure on, gets to 50 metres, kicks the ball on the left boot, and that's a great first goal for Moe Ash Dugan. 1-2, 3-4 handball play with Harry Sim. Kicks the ball under pressure from Stevenson, dribbles the ball through nicely for a goal.
We seen it a lot last year, didn't we, boys? They just used their hands all the way down the wing there, Moe. That was unbelievably good team play then. Just handball to anyone they seen, they move it on and they got rid of it quick. It was a brilliant piece of play.
So the first goal has come at the 2-minute mark on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, and that goes to Moe, 1 goal straight, 6. Warrigul now yet to score.
Great work, individual work there by Ash Dugan to hit his first this afternoon. Didn't kick one last week, and back on the scorer sheet this afternoon. The ball is back into the middle. Up they go. Farrell this time again taps it down, but straight to Paredes. Tried to take on the tackler in Wood, and he got pinged for holding the football. And Wood again shoved Paredes to the ground. He's an angry ant.
Around early.
He's angry. Is Jacob Wood, a Tunnel Rat Club member still. Don't worry about that as he drives it towards half forward. Couldn't quite mark it there. Was coming out. Looked to be Tommy Long, who's forward again. Goes again, does Long. Good little pick up. Don't argue, but the umpire says free kick, and it's going back to Rennie.
Yeah, just dealt with after he got rid of the ball there under the pressure.
So Rennie in his defensive 50 for this Warrigul side. Moe getting the first goal. Nice, neat little kick over the top to Tyson Morrow, one of their new recruits for the Gulls. Clears it out wide, and it's a nice little kick out wide. Looks to be Tom Kelly on that wing. Gathered, ran, delivered towards half forward. DeCirio's the target. Bounces at his feet. Rennet closes, tackles strong. And the umpire said that's holding the ball. And a great work by Charlie Rennet, who has dropped 25 kilos in the off-season, who looks sharp, kicks it inboard, and just found Prestige. Swings around, right foot low, piercing pass. Found Darnell Grech, who looked to switch it up again, but good work by the Warrigul defenders. So he has to go to the far side now and kicks it high and long and over the back. Sam Russell dropped the mark that he should have taken. So it was a quick kick off the ground from Moe to get inside 50. Sim gathered nicely, just chipped it over the top. And Dugan snaps around his body, and Ash Dugan's got 2.
What a start, boys, from Ash Dugan. That's 2 goals now in the first 3 or 4 minutes. And I like the way Moe don't mind kicking it back through the middle of the ground. We've seen that as well last year. They hit one in the middle and then they just get their runners behind the footy. They did it again there. Risk and reward. It's paid off twice already.
And the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard shows Moe 2 goals straight, 12 at the 4-minute mark. Warrigul have yet to score.
Big moments thanks to Monticello's, Jim Beam White, Cola Cans, 10 packs, $32. Big moments, of course, in this first quarter. Go to Ash Dugan. He's got 2 first-quarter goals. Troy, mate.
All started from the back line. Great tackle by Charlie Rennet as Farrell back in the middle. Gets a tap over the top. Paredes and Wood go head-to-head again. Comes out to Mulqueen. Gathers. Great smother off the line there by Murphy. Grech goes back and gathers, gives back to Braganolo, shakes off a tackle, chips the ball to centre half forward, 1-on-1 contest. Resting down there is Pearce. As Rennie goes back to get it, puts pressure on Tommy Long, gathers for a third time. Great work by Rennie. Releases a play out wide to Russell. Russell finds his teammate there in Ashley DeCirio. He's under pressure and we'll see the ball out for a boundary throw in. 60 metres around from Moe's half-forward flank. Moe's goal on the half-forward flank, I should say. It's not 60 metres around from the half-forward flank.
Nathan Scarrett, ground level for Carpet Country.
Yeah, just perfect conditions, boys. You can't ask for a better day than this. It's going to be interesting. I haven't seen a rotation yet. We're only 5 minutes in, but the teams who rotate are going to be running the game out because it's pretty warm.
Paredes from the stoppage, got a quick kick away towards the wing. Out there is Morrow, who's had a couple of nice little touches early. The umpire said he had no opportunity. We'll have a ball up nearly on centre wing on the far side at Western Park, which is covered in green grass, which is awesome to see. It is
Rare.
only early in the season, rare. So it will be Horseman and Farrell. Up they go. This time we'll give that one to Farrell. Paredes is off the back of the pack. Falls in the hands there. Over the top it looks to be Nobelius, who gave a quick handball for Warrigul. They go forward towards Coombs at half-forward flank. He's got a bit of pace, and he doesn't don't argue. Left foot goes in towards the top of the square. There's no one back. It's bouncing away. DeCirio leads the charge, puts it on his right foot, and there is a goal of the day from DeCirio. It is Luke DeCirio who plays forward for this Warrigul side, and that was a great goal.
It was. Mick Coombs, boys. We've just seen him his first time around the action, and how good was that? That was just class. He's got pace, and you can tell he can use the footy really well.
And the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, we've played 6.5 minutes in the first quarter. Moe 2 goals straight 12, leading Warrigul, who are 1 goal straight 6.
Great work from Nobelius on the half-back flank to clear from that stoppage. I think he had 2 or 3 efforts, and then it was just a rush kick forward. It had an open forward line. Coombs let all come. It's not easy to beat Mitch Stanlake to the ball, is it? And that says a lot for Coombs in the half-forward flank.
Farrell again from the middle, taps it down. Coombs now goes into the middle. Got one over the shoulder. He doesn't matter. Kicked it towards half forward.
Pushing the back.
And that's going to go to, it was Brad Hefford at half forward. And Mitch Stanlake mans the mark. 60 metres out. It's too far now. He goes inside 50 looking for Drew. Goes up with Blazer. Good spoil. At ground level. Chopping the arms. So, we said that Blazer might say see you later and have 40 for the day, but at the moment it's Kim Drew who's been on top of that little battle.
That's good, isn't it, to try and get him to work the other way in Blazer. And Drew's worked really hard forward, and they've rewarded his effort for that work out of the centre square and hit him on a lead. He's going to line up for goal. Reasonably tight angle, kick from about 45 metres out, 45-degree angle. Makes his way in, puts the ball on the boot, looks good off the boot.
Oh, he likes
the
it.
goal square like it. Kim Drew likes it, and that squares a ledger.
He goes back to Blazer too. Sorry, Troy.
That's all right. All square again as Moe got off to a good start, kicked the first 2. Warrigul have replied with the second 2.
Paul, just with the centre bounces, there's been 5 of them now, is there? What's the stats for the?
Well, the clearances, the centre clearances, 2 to Warrigul. The others have been inconclusive.
Yeah, I feel like Warrigul's on top in them centre bounces.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl, we've had a goal in the 2nd minute, the 4th minute, the 6th minute, and now the 8th minute.
Scores a level.
So give us about a minute and a half, we'll get another goal.
I'm just saying, scores a level. That's all I'm saying. As we go to the ruck again. This time it is Giardina that goes into the ruck. Comes out towards Wood. Paredes closes. Wood slips over. Play on, said the umpire. Quick handball back. Goes in the hands now of Farrell, who sweeps it to his half-back line where Stanlake can gather. Right foot kick might be picked off by DeCirio, but good work by Harry Sim, front and square. Took on the tackle. I got a handball over the top where Pearce was there. At ground level was Ainsworth, who got wrapped up in the tackle straight away. And we'll have a ball up. Half-forward flank, scores are level. 8 minutes in to this first quarter. Troy Makepeace on TRFM.
As Pearce comes up from his centre-half forward position to take the ruck contest, allowing Farrell to go behind the play. Taps it over the top. Good contest. It was Mole Queen. And a pack now for him. We have a player down behind players, a Moe player. We'll just get try and pick out who it is. As back in the play is Jay Murphy.
Harry Sim.
And Harry Sim in there as well. But the free kick's going to go the way of Kim Drew. Has dealt with.
50, and it could be on as well here as Pearce.
Get dealt with by Tommy Long. Gives away the 50 metres. Can we see, boys, who that player is?
Harry Sim.
It was Harry Sim. So I thought you meant Harry Sim was in the play before.
Yeah,
Harry Sim behind
it was
play.
Just in that contest with Nick Mulqueen, there was nothing untoward.
Kim Drew chips the ball over the top, has a teammate on his own. That was James Davidson. Wheels around, goes long inside 50. Numbers back there, Farrell.
Oh.
And coming across the front there was Tyson Biffin for Moe and cuts off a forward foray.
Scores level, 10-minute mark, first quarter. Biffin has it in his defensive 50, chips it to right on the top of the 50. Van Dyke had to stand and wait and mark strongly. Comes out wide to Prestige. Good manning the mark there on that occasion was Hefford. That just went 15, went to Braganolo. His kick close to the boundary line. Nathan Scurra dropped what he should have taken at ground level this afternoon for Carpet Country.
Not talking about pies.
Hey,
He would have caught that.
Drop that.
Nick Mulqueen
would
has
have picked it up off my feet.
Mulqueen drives it back inside forward pitch. Sarong will fly, spoil. The umpire said over the shoulder, and at the free kick will go from Tyson Morrow. No relation, we don't think, Troy.
No, we'll have to chase that up. The Morrows.
He is a solid type,
around
so
the trap area as well. So
wouldn't surprise me. But Morrow, one of the new inclusions into this side for Warrigul, coming from the Allenbank District Football League. As Tyson Morrow comes in, he goes inside 50, kicks from 49. It's pushed away to the far side. It's not going to make the distance.
Flies.
Close to the boundary line, over it goes.
Well, he does know how to kick a goal. 75 goals with Newham South last
Tyson
year.
Morrow.
Tyson Morrow, yeah.
He's a likely type for this Warrigul forward line. They're not overly tall.
You like Jed Sarong. He looks lively every time the ball goes down towards him. He looks like if he can't mark it, he'll make a contest.
The youngster is very talented. Farrell in the front spot there. Good work by Morrow, but equally up to the task there was Braganolo, who just chucked it on the boot, got it outside 50 and a free kick for, well, what might be called as tunnelling against Josh Pearce will go in the hands of the Warrigul player, who handles out wide to DeCirio. Got dumped after his kick. It didn't matter. And Farrell, the resting ruckman, takes the mark unopposed in the end.
What do you think about that one, Darryl? He's used the hip to...
Shepherd, yeah.
It was not a push, more using the hip to work his player underneath the ball.
Yeah, not sure it was there.
Early. I reckon it was a bit early. I reckon he went too early on it.
Yeah, made it too obvious. Yeah.
So football now is transferred out to the wing. Out there is Tommy Long, who drives it to half forward. Pearce comes up to meet it. Nice little handball over towards Fleming. Fleming's got some space, who kicks to the fat side. It's 2-on-1 though. Dugan's the one. He nearly got there too. Stevenson has to work hard. Nicely done. Stepped up in the tackle, put the hand high and got his kick away to the wing. Stanlake got high, and then two Moe players just... Well, they're out of the contest now as they drive it forward. Hefford towards DeCirio. Waiting down was Paredes. Quickly on his boot. Bounces towards Morrow and eludes him and goes over for the minus score. The first one in this first quarter. 12.5 minutes in. Paul Carter.
And the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard first lead change for the day. Warrigul 2-1-13, leading Moe 2 goals straight 12. Might be a few more to come, I think.
There goes just draw, Darryl.
It's only early, Troy. I've got a bit of a question for, I think it will be Nathan Scurra down at ground level, as this ball now goes out towards Ryan Farmer, who takes some mark, comes back inboard towards Fleming. Half-back flank for the Lions as a build-up occurs. They transfer it back to the wing. Van Dyke's the target. Marks. Pushes back off the mark on centre wing here, where Warrigul lead by a point. He chips it over the top, staying to that far side. Poor kick in the end, crashing his way through there was Pearce. Kick goes in towards 50, it's going to be picked off, and Hughes takes the mark there and relieves a little bit of pressure. Handballs back to Stevenson for Warrigul.
Stevenson chips the ball back over the top to that man Hughes, still inside defensive 50. They filter back nicely, do Warrigul, if they turn the ball over and just get numbers behind play. Hughes called to play on, has to go long and wide. That's another nudge out there, but there's no free kick. Comes down to Ainsworth. Ainsworth chisels his pass inside 50 for Moe and finds Jaden Van Dyke. Scott Van Dyke.
Yep, you're right the first time.
Yes.
Don't doubt yourself, Troy.
Just got to back myself. Van Dyke will line up for goal, 45 metres out. Slide angle, or off to the left-hand side. Kicking towards the southern end of Western Park. There's no breeze, as Nathan Scurra mentioned, down on the boundary, thanks to Carpet Country. Van Dyke makes his way in. Nice kick off the boot. That's a goal. That's Moe's third for the quarter and gets them back in front.
Yeah, I think Moe's been pretty good. I think their foot skills have probably let them down the first 10 or 15 minutes of this game. They've had plenty of the footy. They've just been turning it over a little too much, and it took Ainsworth to just straighten up then and hit the target, and they finished off nicely.
And on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard sees the lead go back Murray's way. They're leading by 5 points at the 14-minute mark of the first quarter. Murray a 3 goal straight 18, leading Warrigul 2-1-13.
Umpire has it back in the middle. Fleming now gets his chance in the middle as well, as Blazer just stands off the back there on his own at the moment. Mitch Nabilius looks to go to him now as the two ruckmen go up. Giardina got it down. Blazer was on his own and he won this one, but a quick tackle by Nabilius will have another ball up. Troy just saying while that goal was happening that Matt Pearce, we obviously coming into this side today, has been a good inclusion for him.
Coombs gets the clearance. Sorry, Darryl. We'll have a chat. Biffin goes back with courage. Ends up at ground level to Proctor. Chips the ball over the top. Paredes reads it nicely. Runs to 30. Puts the ball on the boot. And a quick reply from Warrigul sees them back in front.
I tell you what you like about these small forwards of both sides. You can tell when they kick goals because they celebrate nice and early. Scott Van Dyke a couple of moments ago and Nate Paredes, as soon as he kicked that one, he was already celebrating with his teammates.
That was the takeaway from the stoppage from Mick Coombs, boys. That was unbelievable. He did about 3 circles and did a balk and then hit up the target. That was unbelievable.
And the third lead change in the last few minutes on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard sees Warrigul leading by 1 point. We've played 16 minutes into this first quarter. The goals, 3-1-19, leading Moe 3 straight 18.
Okay, so just going back to that, Matt Pearce and Josh Pearce were the two that I was talking about in there that obviously look a little bit different, as they are. They're different people.
Matt Pearce, pretty sure it's his first year out from Gippsland Power, so still young. I think he's fought his way back into the senior side.
Farrell again goes up against Horseman now. Read that nicely from the bottom there was Drew. Quick kick towards half forward. DeCirio tried to shug the Braganolo tackle, but it did get a little bit high. As DeCirio has it, this time it's Luke, drives it in towards the leading target in Giardina, but well read by Charlie Renitz. And Renitz will take, well, the defender's mark. Intercept mark is a nice one, and Renitz will clear it out to the far wing, looking for his coach in Blazer, who couldn't quite mark it. Ball comes to the ground. Coombs swooped on it. Handball's over the top. Good run there. Looking for Mulqueen, who couldn't get it. Moe were there. They handball backwards. This time Kelly twisting and turning. Up to the task, though, is Darnell Grech. Squeezed a handball to Sim, who's recovered from that earlier heavy knock. Got it towards half forward. Going back with a flight was Hughes. Couldn't mark it, though. Working hard again was Jake Hughes. Handballs back to DeCirio. The 1-2 through Drew. DeCirio just dropped it, allowed Fleming to come in, but the umpire will say a free kick to DeCirio. There is a couple of them. This time it's Ash. Kicks in towards Hefford.
Hefford plays on out wide, looking just inside 50. That's a nice kick over the top. Finds Tom Kelly. Marks 45 metres out in front of Hayden Prestige, and he'll line up for goal. Good work bringing the ball back inside the corridor was DeCirio, and Hefford just weighted his kick perfectly and found Tom Kelly over the top with a nice pass.
It's been a good game early. These skills have been fairly sharp. Pressure's been intense.
Goal kicking's been good.
Yep.
So 3 goals apiece, 1 point margin favouring Warrigul. 18 minutes gone as Tom Kelly looks to get him out to a 7-point margin. Ball on the left boot. It's going to favour the left-hand side and just sneak in for a behind.
Couldn't have mozzed yourselves any better then, boys.
Well, we had the Josh Kennedy stutter step as he came in to kick that one. But
bit of suckling about him in there.
As well, yes.
3-2-20 Warrigul, 18.5 minute mark first quarter. And Moe 3 straight 18. Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland.
Tyson Biffin kicked it outside his defensive 50. Good strong work there by Mulqueen to squeeze a handball out. But he gave it to Giardina, who kicked it out of bounds on the full. Biffin again goes short, dangerous. Stanley, good, strong in the tackle, but over he goes. Closing there quickly was James Davidson for Warrigul. And again, another boundary throw in, or inside forward 50 here. The margin is 2 points in favour of Warrigul.
Did that well, Davidson, because this locks it inside their forward 50. Ruckman go at it. Braganolo feeds it back to Stanley. Trying to draw. Does. Gets the 1-2 from Van Dyke. Gets to centre half back. Goes long down the middle. And it's all Warrigul down there. And reading the play nicely is Jack Dean. and takes an intercept mark. He goes back from where it came. His kick doesn't quite come off. Hefford gathers nicely right through the centre circle. This time it's not such a good kick. Coombs gathers, runs to 50, runs to 45, gets the ball long to the top of the square. Sarong over the back. And reading it nicely there was Renitz. Soccers the ball off the ground, clears, has to run and gather and put pressure. Then Nabilius reads it well. His handball is intercepted. Van Dyke feeds the ball back to his brother Scott from Jaden, and he clears with a defensive clearance.
Looking for Ainsworth, who goes up and marks strongly. Half-back flank now for the Lions. They trail it by 2 points. 19-minute mark of the first quarter. Ainsworth goes towards centre-half forward. Out there was Murphy, the first gamer, couldn't mark it. Crashing his way through was Hughes. Keeping his feet there on that occasion was Tommy Long. Came out towards Pearce. This was the Josh variety. Now it squeezes out to Darnell. Great tackle, and that's holding the ball. And a strong one by Daniel Giardina. No, it wasn't. It was the Michael Lynn for Warrigul, who can switch it up and get it out wide to Sam Russell. He can go over the top to Coombs. Coombs can mark unopposed on the wing. He takes off, has a quick bounce. He checks his kick out wide towards Sarong and thumps it nicely, tapped across there to Hefford. Hefford's inside 50 kick, goes direction of Nabilius, couldn't mark it. Ground level, good work by Murphy. Handball back to Van Dyke, was smothered by Coombs. Goes again, does Coombs, working hard at ground level as Prestige as well. And the umpire, Coombs, somehow squeezes a handball out for the Warrigul side towards Mulqueen, who can't do so. Now Grech will pick it up and drive it out of his defensive area, but only as far as Jake Hughes, or is it Matt Rennie? It is Rennie, who comes back in board now to Hughes.
Good call. You preempted that one, Darryl. He goes over the top to Mulqueen, marks it centre half forward for Warrigul. As waiting for something to unfold. There's plenty of numbers back. Chisels a nice pass. No play on, says the umpire. It's Nabilius. Wheels around. Gets to the top of the square. Player down in the goal square is DeCirio. Didn't quite see that one, boys. When he went down on his own accord, as taking the mark was Renitz. Releases to Grech. Comes inside the corridor.
Good defensive work by the girls.
Now they release through Biffin. Biffin goes long and wide. Has numbers out on a wing. Reading the ball over the top nicely, but dropping an easy mark there was Farmer. Has to gather. Now the pressure comes. Turns the ball over. Sarong gathers, bounces the ball up to himself. Link up play, ends up with Morrow. Tyson Morrow goes towards goal, but again he can't find the target and misses to the near side.
This is great work by the Warrigul defence. Just swarming the Warrigul forward lines, playing defence. They are locking it in, and the Moe defence is under enormous pressure. Paul Carter.
22-minute mark, 3-point lead to Warrigul on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Inside 50s a 16-6 Warrigul's way.
Wow. Stanley kicks it high and long out the far side, but it's going to come back in. Quick handball, just missed Drew. Good work back there was Lachlan Reese. He gave a squeezing handball to Van Dyke, got his kick away. DeCirio, this time it was Ash. Went to ground, squeezed a handball out towards Rennie. Kicked towards the boundary line in front of the scoreboard here at Warrigul at Western Park. And it was in front of Nate Paredes. And it sees Warrigul 3-3-21. Moe 3 straight 18. 22 and a half minutes gone. First quarter. Boundary throw in.
Just a slight chance to take a bit of a breather as we wait for the ball to get thrown back in. 50-metre line for Warrigul. Farrell gets it down the front to Van Dyke. He's tackled straight away under enormous pressure. Jaden Van Dyke feeds it out to Grech. Handballs over the top to Harry Sim. He can feed the ball over the top as well. Looking for
Stevenson, good
pressure
tackle.
Comes from Stevenson. No free kick, says the umpire. Still Moe try to work the ball forward, but we'll see the ball out for a boundary throw in. They've forced their way into their forward half. Just their forward half of centre wing is Moe. We'll have another boundary throw in. 23 minutes gone.
Nathan Scarra for Carper Country.
They just can't get it past their centre line, Moe. Every time you see Moe get the footy, Warrigul's defenders are straight back, but defending midfielders, defenders straight behind the footy, and they just have no chance to get it forward.
Yeah, no doubt that will be a key message for the Warrigul coach and Stephen Kidd at quarter time to keep this pressure up, because so far it's served them well in the first quarter here.
What they've been doing really well, Darryl, is a bit of a scuffle off the ball as the umpire calls for a ball up. Warrigul defenders are prepared to come up off their man as Moe get the handball over the top and create that pressure, rather forcing the turnover further up the ground than relying on their defenders to win the ball.
Working off the back of this stoppage was Nabilius. Didn't have the football. He's going to give away a free kick as he led the way, but then he just gave a free kick to Tommy Long. As Long now waits for a leading option. They stand and just put their hand up and say, kick it on top of my head. I don't think that's the right option. So they do that, and it goes back. Warrigul's got numbers everywhere. Blazer looked for the free kick. The umpire said it wasn't there. Play on. Quick, heavy work there was from Di Virgilio, I think it was, as Blazer left foot snap around his body. It's gone to the line. Rennie misjudged that one. It went over his head, and the coach got it now. Harry Sim gets stuck in to his opponent, and they come from everywhere except Blazer says, I've got this one.
Struts back to the middle, Scud, do you reckon?
He certainly did. Great work by the coach.
I did take a free kick from that Warrigul's given away for Moe to go forward there, and they've defensively been brilliant today so far, Warrigul. They've got to keep it up. It's a very hot day. I've probably mentioned it a few times. I'm cooking down here, boys.
The Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard, 24-minute mark of the first quarter. Moe hit the front again. That's 4 lead changes this quarter. 4th straight 24 Moe to Warrigul 3-3-21.
Blazer and Drew just having a bit of a chat in the middle as we wait for this ball to come back.
Good head-to-head battle.
It certainly is. As Horseman over
Drew,
the top gets down to Drew. Blazer
his chance.
fiercely. And just let him know that he's thereabouts as Drew, not happy, throws the ball back with a bit of aggression back to the umpire. Farrell works to the front, takes it out of the ruck. That's going to be holding the ball as he didn't get rid of the ball legally. And Warrigul win the free kick. It looks to be maybe that man, Drew.
Nice throwback there from Horseman.
He made his teammate, that is, work hard for it.
Drew goes inside the corridor, dropping the markers. Mulqueen under pressure.
Free kick for a throw.
Free kick for a throw. It's going to go in the way of Matt Pearce. Right in the centre, on defensive side of the centre circle is Matt Pearce. Inside that 10-metre area was Nabilius, but doesn't give away the 50 metres. Switch goes out wide to Sim. He looks forward, dropping the markers. Fleming has to go back and get it. And goes long and wide to the half-forward flank. Coombs and Murphy of Moe. Murphy keeps his feet, leads Coombs to the ball. Coombs pushes him off nicely. Wins the 50-50 contest. Warrigul release. And going to go down the line to Mulqueen.
Mulqueen on the wing. Gets it in the direction of Morrow. Renetso closes with a spoil and a hand in the back. The umpire said, play on. Biffin was there. Gave it to Ainsworth. Just had to make him work for it. But Ainsworth is up to the task. The veteran from the Lions kicks it down the wing. And marking that was Tom Kelly for this Warrigul side. The half-back flank. He comes in board again. It's a beautiful kick. Hits Nabilius. Right foot turns, swings, goes out wide. Tommy Longnose now gone back. Good spoil in front of DeCirio. And Long is there. Stops. DeCirio tries to work him off the football.
Tommy Long got an assisted little block off the ball there by the umpire that was down in that offensive 50. Unintentional, of course, but just allowed Tommy Long.
So a bit of a change there, Troy, as Long as started forward. Now he's come back to play on DeCirio, and Ainsworth now is that sort of loose man across this back line.
It'd be interesting to see where the change went, who that player is that allows Tommy Long to come back in as Blazer gets a clearance.
Down towards DeCirio. This time it is the Ashton variety. Handles over the top looking for his teammate. Well worked out there by Darnell Grech it was. Nice kick towards Dugan in open space. Couldn't quite gather it. He was just about to turn to the left and do a bit of a shake and bake on his opponent in Stevenson.
That's a very enticing contest as well, isn't it? Because Stevenson's a fantastic defender, and just Dugan can just do the unthinkable sometimes as the first 2 goals of the game.
Well, it is a great match. There's great matchups right across this board to this afternoon as we're inside forward 50 late in this first quarter. The margin 3 points in favour of Moe now as the ball is on the half-back flank. Farrell just slew into ground. The umpire said you didn't cop one high. They've worked it out okay, but now they've just coughed up the handball. Working back there was DeCirio at ground level as well. They try and stand up in the tackle. Does Dylan Proctor. That's the first time we've heard Dylan this afternoon, who's usually a accumulator of the football. As Proctor just gives it back to the umpire. We've got a stoppage on centre wing. 28.5 minutes gone. 3-point margin. Farrell again got the tap out. Over the back was Blazer, who's starting to work into the game. Handballs to his ruckman, who can give it across now to Grech. Left foot kick around his body. Back there is Rennie unopposed. Oh, good little contest there by Pearce. Gave it back to, was that, looked to be Tommy Long down there. Again, or was it the other Pearce? The kicks goes high in the air. Towards the boundary line it goes over for...
Still in.
Oh, threw it over for boundary. Throw in.
Kicks the ball to inside 50. Dugan leads Stevenson to the ball. Bounces over top of both of their heads. Tommy Kelly gets back there for support. Dugan goes back and gets it. Gets it off to Prestige. Prestige dribbles the ball forward to the top of the square. Curran goes deep inside Moe's forward 50. A cracking first quarter sees Moe 4 straight 24, leading Warrigul 3-3-21. 29 minutes went in that first term.
Well, from the I guess Warrigul had most of the play. They played a strong defensive game, but at quarter time, as Troy just mentioned, they trail it by 3 points. It is TRFM on. Here's Gippsland live, I should say, on TRFM, right across Gippsland and the Valley. And it's all thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland. The Warrigul guys are looking after us up here as second quarter is back underway. Farrell again works it nicely. Coming in to meet it, though, on that occasion was Angus Embry for the Warrigul side. Drew goes in and Blazer tackles him and throws him to ground. I'm going to get your opinion on that little battle in that first quarter as Matt Rennie now taps it towards the boundary line. Pearce was closing. Pearce does well. Again, Embry tries to keep it and goes over for a boundary throw in Troy. That battle, it was early on, Kim Drew was on top, and I think the last 5 minutes, James Blazer just started to work into that nicely.
He did, and it looks like it's going to go
It's a great battle.
There's just a bit of pushing and shoving going on at the moment as well. We're going to be keeping a close eye on that one. Farrell tops it over the back in the corridor. Running onto it as Greg has been in everything so far. Kicks wide to the half-forward flank. Ainsworth has to wait for it. Gets a nasty bounce. Tommy Long hits it at pace. Handballs inside to Murphy. Murphy runs to 50. This kick goes wide. Dugan flies.
Free kick,
and,
surely.
Free kick against Dugan because he got nowhere near it. But he got Rennie. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he got Rennie.
Right in the backside.
So he's given away the free kick, but he's hurt Matt Rennie.
Stevenson's going to take the resulting free kick. Dangerous.
Towards DeCirio.
Goes DeCirio. DeCirio handballs wide to Kelly. And he's deep in his back pocket. He's kicked just over the top of Jake Hughes. Has to go back and put pressure on Darnell Gregg. It's been good. Has to feed a handball out. Comes out to Angus Emery. Emery goes inside the corridor. Prestige goes with the fist. It comes to ground. Jacob Wood gathers. Dale feigns a handball, wheels around, has a player on the half-forward flank. Nice work over the top. Tom Kelly marks the intercept mark for Warrigul.
Kelly again comes in board. Nice little kick. Someone's down behind play. Is it Drew?
Yes, it is.
Who's the culprit, I wonder? Well, the kick goes out wide. DeCirio went towards DeCirio. Renitz closes. DeCirio arches the back. Guess what? Goes back to his brother in the middle. Kicks it towards the fat side. They've got numbers on. Parides the one they want to get it to. Coming off to pick it off, though, was Davidson. Swings back, right foot inside 50s. A beautiful kick to Morrow, who marks on his chest directly in front. Will kick from 50, and Kim Drew is a little worse for wear.
He's going to be coming off the ground, boys, holding the chest or just around the stomach area.
There is one player, and they've been manning up on each other. It's a great battle. We didn't see what happened, so we can't comment, but Drew comes off, but Morrow will have a shot for goal. 49 metres directly in front. Lovely kick. It's just fading away at the last moment. It's a minor score, the first one in this second quarter.
And on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, that takes Warrigul to 3-4-22. They trail Moe by 2 points. Moe at 4 goals straight, 24.
No one has really gone up to James Blazer to remonstrate. We look forward to that one continuing. I'm sure he'll be fine, James. Kim Drew it will be. This ball bobbles around. There's Blazer. Gave a handball to Braganolo. Tried to put it in his boot. Got smothered by Hughes. Closes out there quickly was Horseman. Close to the boundary line. Keeps it in. Round his body, though. Darnell Grech went it nicely.
Bit going on the bench, mate.
Between,
they're not happy with Blazer here on the bench.
That's coming out of the
Warrigul.
I thought so.
Obviously.
Good work out there. This time it was from Murphy. Twisting around. Got it towards Wood. Gave a quick handball. Prestige just blazed away inside 50. 2 on run. Rennie might return the favour on Dugan. Didn't quite get the knee in the coccyx. However, Stevenson was up to the task to win it. Keep it over the top nicely. And he found Angus Embry. Half-back flank for the Warrigul side. 2-point margin. 3 minutes gone second quarter.
Embry trying to urge his teammates to come at him. Horseman does just that. He marks unopposed. Plays on quickly. Goes into the centre square. Renitz reads it nicely. Falls out to Blazer. DeCirio gathers. Spins out of a tackle. Kicks high up and under. Gets a half-forward flank for Warrigul. Biffin sits underneath it. Contest by Parides. Parides keeps his feet. Puts the pressure on. Is that Reese for
Braganolo, maybe?
Braganolo. He's swamped by two defenders, two opposition members. He is a defender, and it'll be a ball up right on the 50-metre line.
Great game.
Warrigul's 50.
Cracking game at Western Park. Farrell taps it over the top. Pearce does nicely to Van Dyke. Shrugs the tackle, then gets his kick away. To half forward it goes. Sam Russell in the front spot. Couldn't mark, but wins a free kick. Paid the mark in the end, was it?
Yep.
Russell on the wing, comes in board. Both these sides want to come in board. Davidson stood off his line. Oh, sold 2 or 3 candy and then kicked it inside forward 50. The targets go up. And again, Charlie Reddit.
He's been a rock.
These intercept markers of both sides have been fantastic. The handball over the back to Tyson Biffin.
Oh, Biffin's second bounce doesn't come back up to him. He's got time to gather. Chips a nice ball inside the corridor to Wood. Wood handballs to the running Stanlake. Stanlake gets to wing. Muffs his kick. It bounces in front of Ainsworth over the top to Dugan. Dugan gathers, looks for the handball over the top. Great work by Stevenson. Ainsworth puts a fierce tackle on his opponent. Dugan goes one way, goes back the other. Kicks inside the corridor. Bounces over the top to Giardina. Has to run back for Warrigul. Pressure comes from Josh Pearce. Has enough time to handball forward. Looking for Emery. Emery goes down the line. Blazer is going to get fierce here on the half-forward flank. He handballs over the top to Van Dyke. Van Dyke under pressure, just hurries a handball inside.
Good
Falls
Shepherd.
to Farrell. Farrell chips a nice ball over the top.
Jacob
and
Wood
finds Tommy Long 45 metres out, almost directly in front.
Jacob Wood was a great shepherd there. Allowed, was it Long, did you say? No, they kicked
Farrell,
to Long.
Dylan Farrell.
Yep, Wood put on the shepherd, allowed Farrell to, well, kick with a little bit of time.
Distance shouldn't be a problem from Tommy Long. He's a nice long kick, but accuracy might be the question mark. Kicks from right on 50. Distance is not a problem.
Oh, Troy Makepeace.
Accuracy
Stop
is.
it. And that is why you are the immortal of Maui.
For every 99 I get wrong, I get one right, Daryl.
Green and Gippsland scoreboard. We played 6 minutes into the second quarter. Maui leading by 3 points, 4-1-25 to 3-4-22.
Big moments thanks to Monticello's. A couple of moments ago, Kim Drew came off after copping one to the mid-drift. He's just got his hands on his heads now, and he'll look to come back on shortly, so nothing too bad there. As good run out of the back half by Warrigul. Sees the footy now right in the middle of the ground. There's Michael Lynn's going to drive it inside 50. Over the back they go, and Tyson Morrow's very good at reading the football. And again, he'll have a shot directly in front from a similar position that he had a shot a couple of moments ago. And can he make amends as his side trails by 3 points? As Kim Drew comes back onto the side. Keep an eye on that Nathan Scarrow at ground level. As Morrow comes in directly in front. This time, does he squeeze it through? No, he's adjusted nicely, Troy. This one's gone through, and that's the goal that the Warrigul side needed to get back this leading margin.
We've got an absolute cracker of a game on our hands here, boys. How's the flow from the back half to the forward half from both sides? Tom Kelly, that was unbelievable. He looks like, I reckon he'd fit in one of my thighs, Tom Kelly. He's that big, he's tiny, but you could just see the way he runs through the middle parts of the ground. He linked up 3 or 4 times and got it forward, and that was a really good finish there.
And Warrigul back in front at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. They're 4-4-28 to Maui 4-1-25 on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard.
Footy comes back in the middle again. It will be the 2 ruckmen in Giardina and Horseman. Giardina. They can't ruck against each other. Up against Farrell. Giardina went early. Farrell got the tap out in the end. Working hard was DiVigilio. In the middle, only Paredes was there, though. So sold some candy again. And another one. Tried the don't argue. Didn't quite come off, and he gave up the football. The umpire said you took too long holding the ball.
Just keep an eye behind play, Scars. Nick Mulqueen a bit slow to get up. Looking at his left knee, holding his left knee. As Van Dyke wins a free kick. Chips inside the centre square. Finds Mitch Stanlake for Maui. Warrigul gets some numbers back. Just waiting for the play to unfold. Chips one over the top. Farrell's worked hard. Has to run and get it a little bit.
It's another good battle in the middle, isn't it?
Inside the centre circle. He goes another chip forward. Finds Van Dyke. They're very measured with their approach. Goes to the fat side. Greg has 2 to beat. And meeting him there is Jack Dean. And beating him does very nicely, does Dean. But his kick is the opposite of his effort. And turns the ball over. Looks to be maybe Scott Van Dyke.
Matt Pearce yep.
Marks. And finds Hayden Prestige.
He's been very good.
Line. He has been very good in front of the scoreboard.
Thanks to Gippsland Isuzu Ute. Drives it in. Dugan's going to fly 4 deep. He hits the pack hard. Didn't quite get the spoil on. He did the right thing, though, as a forward. Quick handball over the top from Sam Russell, the defender. Paredes runs onto this one. Delivers outside his 50. That's a nice kick, is it? Lands at the toes there of Jed Sarong, who was happy to see it go over for a boundary throw-in. And that's one good thing that you like about a big, strong leading forward in Ash Dugan. There might be 3 or 4 in front of him, but he'll crash the pack, and he won't be afraid to spoil, and that's what you want.
Absolutely, but full credit to Ash Tessiero, who stood underneath that and copped the hit, but gets up and goes back and takes his position.
Farrell straight down to DiVigilio, kicks it high now, inside forward 50 again. Russell, good spoil. There is DeCirio. This time it's Ash. His left foot kick around his body only as far as Van Dyke. Coombs closes, tackles. Van Dyke spills a football. Now Dean has it. Tries to squeeze a handball out. Again, the kick was smothered. Coombs handball. Gave it straight up to Van Dyke. His kick was a scrubber. It went inside 50. Sim was there. Hughes had to put a strong tackle on. Goes to ground again. It's fierce. It's tough in the clinches, as it should be between two of the top sides. And a couple of points. 3 points separate these at the moment. The kick goes out to the wing.
Courage.
Pearce goes back. Couldn't quite get on the first time.
Numbers.
Good Shepherd allows Warrigul to swoop on it in. Proctor deliveries inside 50. Over the back it goes. DeCirio has been pinged for a push. And Rennett's is hard to move. Will win himself the free kick.
It wasn't that intense that last 30 seconds as Warrigul just willed their way forward. But this time it's Moe. Biffin again on the second bounce. It doesn't come back up to him. Just bounce it once, Biffin. His kick finds Van Dyke on true centre wing. On the his chip over the top. Tommy Long equal to the task. There's Jack Dean there for company. This is where Warrigul have been very good. They've slowed Moe down when they're around the centre of the ground, and it forces this type of kick. Dangerous kick to centre half forward. Prestige runs onto it. Great pressure there. Held on too long, though, did Michael Lynn. And Hayden Prestige is going to win a free kick just outside offensive 50. Right in the centre corridor.
We've mentioned a couple of times, Troy, the dangerous kick inboard, but it just seemed to have bounced okay for the Moe side so far.
It'll go one of two ways, won't it? You'll either kick it to your opposition or you'll get it inside 50.
And at the moment, it is certainly running their way as Prestige looked to handball off, but then kicked it inboard nicely to Ainsworth. Does he have the leg, Troy? He would kick from about 50.
He's a seasoned campaigner, isn't he?
He is. Well, you wrote off Tommy Long a couple of moments ago.
Handballs it off to Braganolo.
He can kick it.
He didn't back himself. Braganolo does. But his accuracy again misses everything and goes out of bounds on the full.
11 and a half minutes gone. 3 point margin favours Warrigul. They're 4-4-28. Moe 4-1-25. We're going to get a quick around the ground score. Thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture, Gippsland stores, just before you put that chip in your mouth.
You're good at that, aren't you? No, you just wait until I get ready to have something to eat. We'll have Leongatha got off to a good start against Moore, leading by 29 points. Druina leading by a goal at quarter time over Bairnsdale as Hefford takes a nice mark. Still
You're right, mate.
Defensive 50.
Keep going on those scores. I'll let you know if anything exciting happens here.
And Mafra, 8-0 first quarter, lead by 52 points at quarter time.
Well, Rennett's picked off the mark as Warrigul went forward, but half-back flank he was. He kicks it into the middle towards Biffin. Any surprises there? Obviously the Druin one.
The Druin one leading by a goal at quarter time, and Mafra, I didn't expect them to be that far in front at this stage, early stage of the game.
We might be on Bennett watch this afternoon as the kick from Rennett's goes down towards half forward. Well roved by Ainsworth. Nice checking in his kick, and he found his teammate Ryan Farmer directly in front. He seems to be too far out, so he wants to chip it off. Dugan's going to have 4 to beat. He goes back. He nearly did so. Keeping the ground there. His feet was Kelly. Handball over the top to Rennie. Chips one dangerous. Great contest. They go again. DiVigilio taps it towards Dugan. Has to try and get a handball out. He does it, and he's going to be pinged for holding the ball. And Dugan just put down Stevenson, and that's 50. And that could be 100. I'm tipping this will be a 100-metre penalty.
You're right, Darryl.
He's dumped Stevenson. He then dumps Sam Russell. And Dugan just has to calm down because this could take him to inside forward 50. Stevenson might have a shot on goal.
You know what I reckon cost him there? Missed that first option.
Absolutely.
And now the end result is a shot on goal, I reckon, for Warrigul. Well, I think it was a good call, Darryl. He dumped his first opponent after he gave away the free kick. Another player came and remonstrated with him, and he dumped him accordingly. And
he's
the
still
end result
going.
is Stevenson, 100 metres from where he first got the free kick.
I don't reckon I could run backwards that far.
Good effort by the umpire.
Well,
he's going to have we talk about legs for distance, shots on goal for Moe. Has Stevenson got the legs?
He's a monster.
He'll be kicking from about 55.
He's no Braden Fowler, but he's certainly a monster when it comes to kicking the football. As Stevenson comes in, will he put this one through? Trying to get the nod from the Warrigul boys. He unloads. It's a helicopter mongrel-looking punt. And it doesn't make the distance. Now it goes over for a 1 behind. And that is on Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. Paul Carter.
4-5-29 Warrigul. Moe 4-1-25. I don't think Stevenson had too many shots at goal in his career, would he?
May not have. Back there was Tyson Biffin from the kick-in. Had to work Worked pretty hard to clear this one out. It might come back in, though. Out there was Angus Embry. He swoops on it. He's got time. From 40, will unload. Has he put it through? I don't think he has. He didn't like it off the boot, and that's another minor score. They tried the 7-point play. Hasn't come off. Margin back now to 5 points in favour of this Warrigul side.
Boys, they've got a cracking around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland.
Oh, just quickly as Reddy went high and took a great hanger.
Well, I'm not
from the
sure
kick
my
in.
cracking around the ground is going to be as good as that. Sorry to ruin that.
No, go again. You're right.
Sorry
Rennie's
to
a bit
ruin that,
sore.
Matt Rennie. I'm just trying to give a score update, but you took an absolute screamer. Gippsland Power, draw.
Finished.
Irving Mosquito.
I told you that. I gave a draw as Rennie looks very sore. I said a draw. I didn't tell you which game. Rennie looks really sore, boys, and that's probably from that earlier knee and the coccyx bone from DeCerio. But he's coming board now, Moe. That kick from Rennie went out wide as they get towards half forward for the Lions. Wood had to work hard at ground level, sweeps a handball out towards Fleming, who just slipped over, then lost the footy. They come in again, good strong tackle from down there. Looked to be, Proctor?
Yep.
Caused the turnover, but that kick was smothered on centre wing. They go again, Giardina, the umpire said, you held on to him after that one, and it was Jack Dean who just got his kick smothered. Then he put on a tackle that wasn't there, and Moe from centre wing will reload again. So we had, Irving Mosquito.
Irving Mosquito kicked his 4th goal close to the siren and levelled the scores for Gippsland Power, and they drew with Northern Knights 66 apiece.
Well, Braganolo has it. We'll kick it to the top of the 50 for the Lions. Farrell will be up 3rd in this pack. Couldn't quite mark it. Good spoil from Hughes and also Horseman there, the two talls. And we've got a boundary throw in right in front of the scoreboard, which sees Warrigul 5 points in front. 16-minute mark. Nathan Scarra at ground level for Carpet Country.
I just felt that Moe was on top for the majority of that first 10 or 15 minutes of the game, and since Dugan's done the... you're right.
Yeah, they went forward, and Pearce on a strong lead from inside the goal square comes out and takes the mark. Keep going, Scuzz.
Yeah, I just felt that after Dugan gave away that 100-metre, they just locked it in really well there, Warrigul, but obviously Moe's lining up for goal now.
So Josh Pearce it is.
He's been well held, hasn't he?
He has.
Josh Pearce.
The defenders have been good. He comes in directly in front. He shouldn't miss this one, which means he probably will. And he puts it on its way, and sure enough, the curse continues. A minor score.
Since we mentioned it, wasn't it?
Well, Braden Fowler will be pleased to know that he's not the only one I put the curse on. As Pearce sprays that one, he's shaking. He hates every time we mention his name. I might mention
it 15 times in the last 5 minutes, Darryl.
I'm a little bit awestruck at the moment by the great man. Paul Carter.
Greenham Gippsland scoreboard 4-6 Warrigul 4-2 Moe.
Turnover ends up with Jay Murphy, puts the ball on the boot, and again another behind as Moe just amped up the pressure in the last couple of minutes, just trying to lock the ball in.
Paul, go again, sorry.
Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. We are 17 minutes into the second quarter. 4-6-30 Warrigul 4-3 27 Moe.
Ball gets to the wing. Braganolo, nice little don't argue there on Horseman. Gave a handball off to the run from Farmer it was. Put his teammate under pressure. Again, Drew and Blazer. They jump on top of Blazer. They remember that one. A bit of a scuffle. It's going to break out here, you'd think.
Have a free kick.
It is Blazer and Drew. Who's going to win this one? Drew gets the free kick, does he?
It's going to go the way of Sam Russell. Tommy Long just pulled him out of that
this is fantastic. This is what you want to see on a beautiful Saturday afternoon at Western Park. Nothing's boiled over just yet. It's all fair. It's tough football.
Simmering.
It is simmering, and that's the way we like it. DeCerio out there. Great tackle by Van Dyke. Still got him. The umpire said play on. Got his handball away. Hughes is out there. Coming to help now is Stevenson, who puts a strong tackle on. Good work by Pearce to stand up in it. Gave it backwards. Quick kick goes towards Fleming at half forward. Drops the mark. He's up to it though. Swings back. Left foot. Inside 50 it goes. Blazers now one-on-one. Gathers it. Handballs over the top to Dugan. He's just going to turn around, snap and put it through, and he does. Dugan's got 3. 18 minutes gone. Moe back in front.
Unbelievable, boys. I just watched him run off the boundary line here. He ran straight forward and it just fell straight into his lap. But Moe, I reckon Moe's been like they just haven't put the score on the board this quarter. They've had a lot of the play that's been in their forward half majority of the quarter. They just haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard. So that was a good result.
You're right there, Scuzz. 13 inside 50s to Moe to 7 to Warrigul. And we've played 19 minutes into this second quarter on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. Moe 5-3-33 leading Warrigul Warrigul 4-6-30.
Just quickly, Daryl, apart from the first 2 goals of the game, where Moe got the first 2 goals of the game, it has not gone above 5-point margin since the 6-minute mark of this game.
I'll tell you what,
had 6 lead changes already.
I'll tell you what, the power game won't be the only draw in Gippsland this afternoon again as Greg goes forward. Great work by Wood. Gave it back to Greg, who ran on. 1-on-1. Dugan goes up. Can't mark. Great spoil by Stevenson. And again, the Warrigul defenders through. Russell clears it. Just kicked it over the top is his teammate. Working hard from Nobilis. Goes back towards Fleming. Unloads back in 50 again. Van Dyke will fly. Can't mark. Hughes was there. Got 3 to beat. Just got his handball away. Kicked off the ground. Fleming there. Nice work by Dean. His handball was smothered though. Paredes don't argue one. Handball over the top to Drew. Good work there by Pearce. Warrigul up to it. The handball chain was good. It was Mulqueen. Gave it out wide to Kelly. He comes back to slow it up. Towards Nobilius. Kicks it to the wing. And it just stayed in, did it? I think it did. Bounce just inside the field of play in front of Mulqueen. We've got a boundary throw in. This is some sort of game building here in the TRFM Gippsland League. As we've travelled 20 and a half minutes in the second quarter. The margin 3 points in favour of Moe. Nathan Scurry, can you feel it at ground level?
Yep, I can. It's hot. I'm not talking about the weather. No, I haven't really.
Ball will come back into play. Great work. Thanks for your comments. Mulqueen gave it off to Nobilius. Kicks it towards half forward. Couldn't quite mark it, but up to it. Swooping on it was Proctor. Biffin was back there, hand backwards to Prestige, who will clear it out, and the run from Stanlake will be strong.
Stanlake is going to have a bit of pressure come from Michael Lynn. He elects to take him on with a bounce, chips it over the top to Greg, bounces in front of him, pressure again.
Oh, good work.
Gives it don't argue, has to snap it around the corner. Stanlake has run on, gets to half forward, handballs over the top to Sim, goes out wide to Van Dyke. Van Dyke looks forward, sits it on top of Dugan's head, flies at the front, gets it 1, 2, 3, 4 times he gets it, and the fourth time paid the mark. As Stevenson appeals for a touched ball, the umpire says he's marked it, and Dugan should back himself and 50 metres.
Oh, it's in that. Was that the neutral zone? The first one they've played all day in the neutral zone, and some have been 5 metres away on other occasions.
And we talk about big moments thanks to Monticello's Woodstock and Cola 10 packs, $30, as Dugan banks through his 4th as a 50-metre penalty goes against Ash DeCirio, shakes his head in disgust. As like you said, Darryl, it's the first and only one first one we've seen, probably only one we've seen in the first 3 rounds, I think. Gives away an unfortunate 50-metre penalty.
And it's a 9-point lead at the 22-minute mark of the second quarter on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. Moe 6-3-39 leading Warrigul 4-6-30. Well, Ash Dugan 4 goals.
Well, they were hot on that, I reckon, round 1, Troy. I reckon they did pay a few of them. They've gone cold on it. Certainly today, there's, I think, a couple of moments. I think you may have mentioned it in mid-call. Was right in that spot, probably 1-2 metres away.
A lot worse than that one.
Absolutely. So now let's see if they continue to pay that one. Farrell, beautiful tap over towards Darnell Grech. His left foot kick goes towards Pearce. Good spoil by DeCirio. Hughes was there. Nice one back to DeCirio now. Looks to be that Luke has gone back as well now for this Warrigul side. As both DeCirios playing in the back half, as DeCirio's kick was picked off by Redditz. Kick was partially smothered though, didn't quite get back off the man on the mark. The ball's now on centre wing. Jaden Van Dyke goes hard, so does Nobilius. And Van Dyke, Nobilius just hatches this one. The umpire said, you're in a bit of strife, and maybe because he caught one high, and he just kicked that one away too, did Mitch Nobilius.
He's been very good for Mitch Nobilius. He's in and under in the packs, but he's also very good at getting back behind the ball and helping out his defenders. So it's a good all-round game so far as Farrell just belts it forward. Ainsworth leads his man to the play, feeds it off to Greg. Ball inside 50. Dugan runs underneath it. Stevenson puts the jukes up.
Well.
Gets it at ground level. Evades one tackle. Pressure comes from Dugan. Really good tackle. Really good pressure from a forward. It is a fantastic contest, Darryl, as Blazer wins the free kick. Gets it back. Another inside
great
50.
Kick.
As great lead and an even better kick from James Blazer.
And have a look at Drew and Blazer getting lippy as well. Blazer just said, how good was that one? And Drew goes, I've touched it more than you.
Josh Pearce taking the mark directly in front, 40 metres out.
Inside 50s this quarter, 19-8 Moe's way. Marks inside 55-2 Moe's way.
Well, 9-point margin is the biggest of the game as Pearce will come in to look to extend that one directly in front. He puts it through the middle, and Josh Pearce, that's his first of the afternoon.
It's good that they're now getting some deeper entries, Moe. Earlier, they were having shots 40, 50 metres out, and that's why they couldn't get it on the board. But these last few, deeper entries, put some pressure on the Warrigul defenders, and we can see the results. And
the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard defines Moe 15 points ahead at the 24-minute mark of the second quarter. Moe 7-3-45, leading Warrigul 4-6-30.
Moe have got the last 3 goals of the game in the last 5 minutes to get the margin out to 15 points.
Centre clearance has been the key to it in the middle of the ground. Darnell Grech with a couple of important ones.
Absolutely fantastic, as has Dylan Farrell.
Best on ground performer this afternoon for Gippsland Isuzu. The new D-Max and MUX in store now. As Grech again, Coombs nearly pushed him in the back. Kept his feet though. Good work there by Davidson. The handball backwards now to Giardina. Kicks it inside 50. Well worked there. Is it ready? Didn't get paid. They said play on. And it looked to be...
Yeah, I reckon it is.
Is it Rennie that's gone forward?
I reckon Luke DeCirio has gone down back.
That was Proctor. That was Proctor, I think it was the one. But
Matt Rennie might be on the bench, is he? He looked at like
right down there in front of you, is he?
He is, yes. As Proctor was the one at half forward over the back. Great tap again. Biffin gave it off there to a run of Reese, who gave it back now to Biffin, who has one bounce. He gets the half-back flank. Handballs over the top there to Matt Pearce. Goes back to Biffin. Good strong tackle there was from Emery. And the umpire said, let's ball this one up. And working hard, Michael Lynn at the bottom of that pack as well.
And big quarter from Biffin. He's had 9 touches this quarter.
There's a really good forward pressure from the front from Warrigul, because Ainsworth was over the top, but that forward pressure forced Biffin to try and create a handball that wasn't really there.
Horseman put it straight down, but Fleming was up to it. His kick, though, was picked off, dropped. The mark there was Russell. Has to go again, does Russell. He jumps on this one quickly as it was Di Virgilio put on the tackle, and we'll have a ball up half forward flank, about 60 out from Moe's goal. Dugan's got 4. We're at 26-minute mark of this second quarter, and the margin is at a game-high 15 points for the Lions.
It's had everything, has this whole game so far, as the ruck contest. Drew and Blazer, Paredes it might have been as well. Good work there by Blazer, gets it again, handballs off to Farrell, feeds it out to Grech, goes backwards to Stanlake. Stanlake stops, props, puts a barrel forward. Josh Pearce works his opponent under the ball, drops a mark, ends up out with Harry Sims, snaps the ball on the boot and misses to the near side and goes through for a minor score. Great work by Pearce, but just couldn't quite bring it in at that second attempt.
And the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard sees a 16-point lead to Moe in the shadows of the half-time siren. 7-4-46 Moe, 4-6-30 Warrigul.
So Reddy obviously off the ground with that slight little injury concern.
Just waiting to come on. He's waiting to come on, boys.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does go when he comes back on. He's got the knee. Obviously, the knee to the coccyx as well was a bit of an issue early on.
Heavily strapped, boys. The left knee from Rennie.
Oh, interesting where he does go. He may go forward because DeCirio has gone back. So that was a change. Let's see where he goes. It's quickly playing on Russell. That's nearly downfield. The kick goes long and wide out of bounds on the full.
What saved him there is he sort of carried him to the ground instead of drilling him into the ground.
So Van Dyke, this time Jaden will unload back inside 50. Dugan will fly. Stevenson was in front. Great little work there. Working hard was Davison, who got wrapped up in a tackle. And there it is. The siren sounds. It's gone 28 minutes that second quarter. And we saw Ash Dugan get 2 more to add to his tally. He's got 4 for the game as Moe kicked the 3 last goals of the quarter. It's half-time, sees Moe 7-4-46. They extend the margin for 3 points. Warrigul a 4-6-30. Troy, get those party pies away from me. I'm trying to wrap things up. It's half-time here at Western Park, and it is a margin of 16 points in favour of Moe. And you're listening to Gippsland Live on Trfm right across Gippsland and the Valley for Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland, with over $200 million in stock price to clear.
It's the 50K.
Between him is DeCirio and Charlie Rennett.
Third quarter action is underway. Up they go again. This time, big tap by Farrell. Coming through, Stevenson on that wing, got a hand on it. Nicely done on that occasion was Horseman to kick it towards half forward. DeCirio's gone forward. Nice little tap. Oh, just in the hands of Morrow. Tried to shrug a tackle from Braganolo. Squeezed one out towards Proctor. DeCirio, left foot kick goes high. Davidson will work to this one towards the boundary line in front of Stanlake and over for a boundary throw-in. You've got to stick with the Serio forward, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing to note too, boys, they've gone one out in the goal square. Nate Paredes, they've taken him out of the centre square, put him one out in the goal square against Stanlake.
Plenty of changes that Stephen Kidd has done at half-time.
Make it a bit more exciting.
It certainly does. Where's Kim Drew? Is he still on Blazer? He's not on him at the moment, as Farrell again taps it straight down. Trying to come through to pick that one off was Proctor. They go hard at it. Again, Proctor goes. Paredes the ball. Shrugs 2 or 3. Comes out the other end of this scrimmage. Kicks it high to the goal square. Davison does well. Braganolo up to it. Great tackle. Another little contest brewing. Coombs sweeps on it. Gave it to Davison at ground level. Left foot snap around his body to open the third quarter. Goes through as Morrow. Missing for a minor score. That would have been a good start for the Warrigul side.
And on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, we've only played a minute and a bit in the third quarter, and it's 4-7-31 Warrigul, trailing Moe, who are 7-4-46.
I tell you, boys, you wouldn't want to be one out with Nate Paredes in the forward 50, would you?
Nah, very dangerous. Very, very good core strength. So very hard to knock off the ball. As Biffin plays on from the behind and goes long and wide. Farrell can't get it at the second grab. Fleming overruns it. There is Murphy. Fleming goes back and gets handballs out to Farrell. Handballs over the top to Josh Pearce. Finds himself further up the ground. Nice handball inside to Van Dyke. Good link-up play. Finds Harry Sim. Runs inside the half-forward flank. Chips the ball over the top. Dugan doubles back. Has his man beaten. Can he get it at the bouncer? Won't sit up for him. It dribbles. And Soccer. That's a sideways scissor kick. Soccer goal. They're going to confirm, are the umpires. He's happy with it.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't think.
Unless it was
just
over the line
waiting.
when he kicked.
Just waiting. They're confirming, and
both umpires have got their hands behind their back.
Where's the TV screen?
Well, we'll go to it.
maybe the umpire is trying to decide whether it was touched because the ball might have gone over the line before Dugan.
No, he's setting up for his own. Surely it's a point.
The umpire has called.
It's a goal.
It's a goal. The umpire's called a goal.
Clear. Now, the question I'm going to ask you, boys, is who do we give it to? Because Harry Sim kicked it and it beat over the top of everyone. Did Dugan get his ball on the boot before they went over the line?
Yes, he did.
Is that what they're confirming?
They did. They confirmed.
Yeah, I reckon. I can hear it.
When Dugan gets 5, basically, Paul Carter.
Ash Dugan's 5th goal on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard takes Moe to a 21-point lead 2 minutes into the third quarter, 8-4-52, leading Warrigul 4-7-31.
Well, Sims, if you're listening, I tried to get Harry that goal, but the boys have overruled me.
Oh, gee, won't Lachlan be dirty. As the ball goes back in the middle, this time a big tap from Horseman, who roved his own play, then kicks a barrel. High they go. Back towards Morrow. Couldn't quite mark it. The ball just bounces down. Stanlake was there. Morrow's closing. Has to put some pressure on. Bouncing ball. Just goes the other way. Nearly a free kick. He's on the ground. He couldn't really do much there. Paredes just threw Stanlake out the way, and that's mean feet. Comes towards Mulqueen. Has a check side from the boundary line. Kept it skinny for a minor score. They've had 2 chances in the opening part of this third quarter of Warrigul.
And McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard is now a mirror image. 8-4 Moe, 4-8 Warrigul. It's a 20-point lead to Moe.
Would Nate Paredes have an injury issue, boys, if you're going to play him deep out of the square and not where he's
I don't think you'll see it for the whole quarter. I think it's just for maybe the first sort of 8 minutes. Coombs makes a one-hander cracker.
Just holds off big Dylan Farrell with the right hand, sticks the left mid out there, and it just clunked it.
And nice kick in board too. Morrow dropped the mark that he should have taken. Davison was there to help. The kick now goes outside 50. Sim spins around. Good tackle by Hughes. Comes to ground. Hughes goes again. Gets one. Hasn't got the football umpire. He said play on.
This umpire down in the...
Great work. I like it. The ball will come back. I like it. One saw it, one didn't. Fair enough. You don't call it. You don't see it. The other one did. Jake Hughes has it 75, make it 80 metres out from goal. All the numbers now back inside the 54 for Moe. So he just chips it up. Top of the 50. Morrow will fly. He couldn't mark. He's had 2 goes at it. He did well, though. Comes out towards Emery. Goes inboard. Great little pick off there on that occasion by Murphy. The quick kick goes out towards the wing. It's a foot race. Dugan on Dean, who's got a new opponent. Dean has to work hard. Dugan kept his feet. Does very well. Picks it up now. Close to the boundary line. Got one over the shoulder. Play on, they said. Goes to half forward. Long has it. Kicks it inside. Got smothered. Goes towards Wood direction. DeCirio's back there. Long ran on from this one. Handball over the top. Beautifully done. It goes towards Pearce. He can gather and dribble it through. And it goes through for another goal. The Lions get 2 in a row.
Well, you feel 5 5 minutes are gone. 2 inside 50s to Moe for 2 goals. They're just getting the footy over the back at the minute. Warrigul are defending hard, but as soon as it gets out the back, Moe look like they're going to score every time.
And the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard sees a match-high lead of 26 points to Moe, 3-minute mark of the third quarter. Moe 9-4-58, leading Warrigul 4-8-32.
Troy Paredes just went to look to go into the middle, got told to stay. So there you go.
Overruled.
Yep, go back to full forward, they said.
What would you do as a coach, boys, if you're a player that generally plays in the middle says, I want to go in the middle, I can see something, we need something in the middle. Put me in there, coach, and the coach goes, nah, I still want you forward.
Well, I don't know if it come from the coach, just come from the midfield direction, but they go forward again. They have to get back in there, surely, if he's not injured. Stevenson again, nice handball out to Coombs. Got it in the direction of Belius. Now he runs onto it, taps it forward. Coming back now is Darnell Grech. Lets it bounce towards the boundary line. Over it goes. Forward to centre in Warrigul's direction, though. They trail by 26 points as Stevenson comes off for a spell. There has been a change. Dugan got 4 goals in the first half. Stevenson, we thought, played a great game, but they made that move. Stephen Kidd happy to change things around. Ball comes back into play. Farrell was there. Just missing it was Hefford. Sim, the no-look handball. Hefford just ran straight into Van Dyke and could be in a little bit of trouble. But they drag him up. He says, I'm not sure I could stand up.
Oh, I hate that when they pick you up.
he just got one to the jaw and said, I just want to stay down for a little bit. Troy Makepeace on TRFM.
Barrel over the top, but Drew picks it off nicely. Gets a curried kick forward.
Oh,
Sarong takes a strong mark.
Oh, no,
umpire doesn't pay it. He's clunked an absolute beauty. Umpire says play on as scrimmage forms, and the umpire says I'll have it, boys. As Sarong started in the back line in this term, now he's pushed forward. Renitz has picked him up. Forward also there is Morrow. Just can't get his hands, gets his hands on it, can't clunk him. Good work by Drew. Again, kick forward. Giardina handballs inside to Davidson. Davidson gets a hurried kick forward. And again, that goes skinny side for another minor score. You mentioned it before, Darryl, they've had opportunities as Stevenson comes off going into the change rooms. We'll try and keep an eye on that one. They might have a few injury concerns, do Warrigul.
The barrel that didn't come off came off. As Darnell Grech marked it. And he got it to the wing. Over the back is Long. Good spoil. Hughes was the one there for the defender for Warrigul. Has to go again. Sim now. He's always good. He keeps his feet to the ground. Stands up in it. Gave it to Fleming. Kicks it towards half forward. Over the top of the head of DiVigilio. Ainsworth is there for the Lions. Tracking it. Pushed in the back. Dean. The umpire said play on. The ball goes over for a boundary throw in. I don't think I've seen Harry Sim go to ground. He's got those short legs and he really keeps his feet at every opportunity. As Nate Paredes, now Troy Makepeace, jogs into the midfield.
Yeah, I think that's a move that needs to be made. I'm just questioning whether they've got some injury concerns, boys. As we know, Rennie's done for the day, as Scuzz mentioned, as the tap forward doesn't quite come off. Dugan gathers, great tackle. DeCirio sharks it. A missed handball there to looking for Ash DeCirio. Clearing kick outside defensive 50. Davidson gathers, has an opponent there. Handball misses the target.
Did it?
Lucky there because Hughes was there to gather. His scrubby kick forward finds Lynn. Lynn chips up, finds Coombs on the wing. As they just take a breather. Chips one over the top.
Nice kick.
Comes off nicely. Finds Mulqueen. Bounces. He does a biff and bounce because it doesn't come back to him. Ends up with Morrow. Tyson Morrow goes along to the top of the square. Stanlake works to the back of the pack, as does Proctor. Proctor and Stanlake. Stanlake wins this contest. Dribbles the ball out in front of him. Doesn't take it out. Taps it in front. Keeps his feet. Appeals for a handball. Hefford barrels through.
Stanlake
wrapped him up
the
with a ripping tackle. And the umpire said, somehow, Brad Hefford, you had prior opportunity.
How many efforts did Mitch Stanlake just produce?
4, and the final one rewarded with a free kick deep inside his defensive back pocket.
25-point margin in favour of the Lions. Warrigul had their chances.
Yes.
Pearce, strong mark, plays on, handballs in the middle to DiVigilio, who just fumbled it. Allowed Emery to handball over the top. The delivery inside 50. This time Morrow takes a mark. Is he too far out to score? He goes to the fat side. Over the back it goes.
Biffin.
Tyson Biffin puts one mid up. and
some
takes
of
a
these
mark.
intercept marks have been absolutely fantastic, haven't they?
They
Both
have.
sides.
They get it out towards Matt Pearce. Now towards Sim on the wing. He's got support from a Shepherd from Pearce. Sim delivers nicely down towards Long. Goes inside 50. They go back. Great work by DeCirio. These boys have been great this afternoon. This one it's Ash. Gave it backwards to his brother. They sweep one back inboard to Dean. Dean can come out wide. Stevenson's okay. Marks it. Handball's on quickly. Just missing the target. Stevenson doesn't have the football. Play on, they said. Working hard was Hefford. He got pinged again for holding the ball. 2 in a row. And he is done. And Dugan.
Absolutely stiff.
Dugan goes towards Sim. Marks. Unload from 49 and kicks it out of bounds on the full. High pressure game of football at Western Park. Wonderful to see. There's two sides going at it. 25-point margin in favour of the Lions.
Quick
10
take,
minutes.
Blazers stats, Paul, while we're waiting for this ball to come in.
Hasn't touched it this quarter. 8 touches for the match.
I thought he might have been off the ground, but he is on the ground, but both of his calves look to be heavily strapped as well.
So the ball comes back. Outside 50 it goes for Warrigul. Is Drew still on Blazer? Have we noticed that?
Blazer's just at half-forward flank now, walking back.
Blazer started on the bench, boys. I reckon he spent the first 7 minutes on the bench.
So he's only just come on.
Yeah, he just come on about 4 or 5 minutes ago.
So at this stoppage, Paredes goes to him. They may have made a change there as well, because Drew didn't leave him in the first half. And again, they crash him from the stoppage. Scott Van Dyke stands up in it and then just gets dumped. I tell you what, this has been physical.
There's going to be some sore boys on tomorrow and Monday.
Kim Drew's moved forward, Paul.
Yep.
So
He's the last man there, and he's in the centre square.
Out the back to Serio. That was Ash. Got it out wide. Stevenson now across half back. Gathers it, kicks it out wide, and says to James Davison, go get it. It will bounce in front of him and away from him. Biffin was there. They have to work hard the strength. Biffin, the back foot heel, goes towards Coombs. Does it, don't argue. Comes in board. Beautiful kick. Found Paredes. He can handball over the top. Decides to kick to half forward. Out there now is Morrow. He's got Renitz to beat. Slips. Morrow holding the ball. Renitz. Great work by the tackle. And he didn't have too many options, did he, after he slipped, did Morrow?
Is he one of the most underrated players at the moment going around?
We rate him.
From what we've seen as well.
Well, maybe from oppositions, but we rate him. He is very good.
Switches up wide. Fleming takes a strong mark on his opposite half-back flank. He's just been fantastic. Nothing's got past him so far in this game today. As Fleming goes down the line to the wing. Hefford works back, as does Horsford.
Over the top,
over the top, finds Wood. Wood runs inside 50, tight angle, chips it to the top of the square, disciplined kick, but reading the play nicely back there is Proctor. Proctor releases it, half-back flank, again missing a target. Luke DeCirio coming through the centre-half back, goes to centre-half forward. Crunching through the pack is Renitz. Standing his ground is Reese. At ground level for Warrigul is Morrow. Puts the pressure on with a nice tackle, and we'll see a ball up just outside the 50-metre line in the forward half of Warrigul.
Now, for those that haven't seen Charlie Renitz this year, he's dropped a few kilos. Make no mistake, there's probably a good maybe 5 to 10 kilos, Troy, you'd think, and he's certainly getting around the ground a lot easier. And he is athletic. He is crunching pack still. He still plays a strong, tough game. As Coombs from the stoppage kicks it.
Shows his versatility too, Scud, because Kim Drew's gone forward and Charlie Renitz has picked him up.
It was Reese. Just got it out towards Darnell. The umpire said play on. Had to close. He's so cool, is Darnell Grech. Gave it to Renitz. Now he gives it back to Darnell Grech. Maybe too cool there with the one hand, and it went over for a boundary throw-in. As he was claiming to the umpire, how about that mark a little bit early on? And
looked like it bounced to me.
I thought it bounced as well. But he would know. He wouldn't lie to the umpire, would he?
No.
So the ball is inside forward 50. The margin is 25 points in favour of Moe. But Warrigul are pressing. They've had a couple of chances in this quarter. Paredes slipped. Did he get one in the back? No. And now he's going to be pinged for holding the ball. The umpire. He stopped and propped and then said, I'll have it. Up they go again. Giardina tapped it straight down to Davidson. He has to go again. Stanlake dropped it as he picked it up, and the umpire said you didn't have it. And they're going to appeal for that. Warrigul are going to say, well, I think he dropped it first.
Exactly, after the Hefford. 2 free kicks against Hefford as well.
True. Well, you pick it up, you drop the football, then get tackled. It's holding the man. Should have been dropping the ball. Anyway.
I'd call play on.
Fair enough, too. Darnell Grech has it. Half-back flank. Chips it in over the top, though. DeCerio has it. And this one is Ashley.
Maybe that's what Greg was saying. Where's my mark?
Ashley goes towards Drew. They're going to close on him quickly. Stanlake was one of those. Couldn't mark it. He got over the shoulder. Stanlake will take the free kick.
Been pretty solid, have the half-back line of Moe Lions.
Inside forward 50s this quarter, Paul.
8-6 Warrigul's way.
Yeah, they haven't capitalised.
Haven't put on the scoreboard.
They have kicked, what have they kicked?
3 behind.
3 behind. And Moe have gone at the other end to kick 2 goals. Again, Ash DeCerio over the back. Try the over-the-top handball. Coombs, he is very good in traffic, isn't he? Gave it to Horseman. Gave it back now to Hughes. He kicks it inside 50, a wobbler one. Picked off, though, by Mitch Stanlake again. And Stanlake will relieve pressure out towards Ainsworth, who just dropped the mark. Kelly now works him overtime. Ainsworth is smart. Numbers favour Warrigul. Stevenson gave it to Paredes. Afterburners on. Has a bounce with arrogance. Handballs inboard to Drew, who snaps around his body and another let off. And he's been pushed in the back. They've got a free kick. It's going to come back to Drew.
Very lucky, because Giardina was by himself on the goal line.
Well, we thought their chances are going missing as they've kicked 3 behinds to open the third quarter. Drew must go back and put this one through. He's been relieved of the duties of tagging James Blazer. He's gone forward, and this is what he needs to do. Go back, put it through. They trail by 25 points. They've had all the play in the opening 16 minutes of the third quarter. As Kim Drew comes in, he's got one. Can he get his second to reduce the margin? He does. Straight through the middle, he likes it. And could that be the spark to get this Warrigul side back in it?
Yeah, well, they've had all the play, like you boys have been saying. I just think the same as Moe in the last quarter, they just haven't had their entries deep enough. They've been getting the footy up and around the 45 to 50 metre mark. You've got to put pressure on the defenders and bring your smalls into play. That one there, obviously, it was a bit easier, but you can get it in a little bit deeper, get your mids and your smalls down under the feet, give them a chance to finish with goals.
Well, this is what you want, I think, from Warrigul. In the midfield, you've got Paredes, you've got Nabilis, and you've got in there Proctor. So this is where you've had a lot of the play, first 17 minutes. You've got your goal that you're after, you've been peppering. Now they must get this centre clearance, Paul.
And the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard says a 19-point lead to Moe, 17-minute mark, third quarter. Moe 9-4-58, Warrigul 5-9-39.
Can they win the stoppage? Farrell handballed over the top, looking for the run there of Pearce. It was a good tackle. They work hard. Proctor goes again. DiVigilio fell over. Proctor dives on it again. They try and flick it out. Paredes was there. Quick handball comes outside the pack. DiVigilio overruns it. At ground level was Kelly. Paredes, nice little handball. Strong tackle by Darnell Grech on Proctor. And the umpire said holding the ball. What sort of opportunity was that?
Well, there's, 3 or 4 free kicks now where the player has been tackled as soon as he's gathered the footy. And there's no prior opportunity. You just got to call play on. You can't have a crack or go against the player that's attacking the footy.
And now he's called play on as Darnell Grech sprays it and nearly puts it to Druid. Out of bounds on the full. Paredes will take this kick in. 18 minutes gone. The margin is 19 points. As Paredes, he can go short. He had an option there in Lynn. Decided to ignore him. Goes backwards further to DeCerio. That's Ashley. We can switch it. Have they ran? His brother didn't work hard enough for him. So he has to come back towards Paredes' direction. Half-back flank, the build-up. It's slow. Comes in board. Found, is it Lynn? Goes around one. Left foot kick towards Stevenson on the lead. Nicely done. Marks it right in front of Nathan Scurra at ground level for Carpet Country this afternoon. Nice kick by Stevenson. Equally good mark by Drew. They get it going quickly. Paredes could get run down. No, he doesn't. He's strong. Nice kick over the top of Sarong's head. Dugan's in the back half to help out. And he kicks it, relieves pressure, goes only as far though as Davidson. He can gather, step inside the first gamer quite easily. Now he goes back inboard on a lead as Giardina. 1 bite, 2 bites, can't get it. Ground level, good strong work there by Horseman. Swooping on it quickly there was Morrow. Gave a handball off to a teammate in Proctor, was it? Who snapped around his body and missed and went out of bounds on the full.
Stanlake, the recipient. Deep, right up against his defensive point post. Goes to the square, or just getting it is Biffin. Handballs over the top to Renitz. Back to Biffin, and now they're away. The running Biffin gets to his defensive 40. Clears to the wing. That's a great kick and finds Harry Sim on centre wing on the outer side of Western Park. Waiting for something to unfold as all the players were up the ground. Goes long down the line. Working back there is Emery. Leaves it for Desirio. Comes to ground level. Blazer picks it up. Goes long to the top of the square. Putting the hands up there is Tommy Long. Gets to ground level. Great pressure inside forward 50 as Fleming gathers. Goes to ground. Gets it back up. Can't squeeze a handball out. The pressure comes. And we should see a ball up. About 20 metres out from goal inside Moe's 50. We are just gone over 20 minutes. Still a 19-point margin in favour of Moe in this third term. Right in the goal mouth. Trying to hit it, it was Dugan. Clearing kick from Warrigul, bouncing over the top of Farrell. Numbers there for Moe, finds Biffin. Biffin inside the centre square. Goes out to a half-forward flank. Di Virgilio gathers, gets tackled by 2. That should be holding the ball if the last 4 free kicks are anything to go by. But the umpire says, no thanks, I'll have it. Was that...
I agree. Yep, absolutely.
Exactly the same.
Yep, Stevenson has to do the ruck duties. Paredes in there, handballs out there, picked off by Long. Then does a don't argue, has a flying shot and goal and misses. That would have been the Gippsland Live goal of the day for sure from Tommy Long. But it's a minor score. McDonald's Gippsland, Australia's most popular baristas, made coffee only in McCafe.
Takes Moe to 9-5-59, leading Warrigul 5-9-39. We've played 21 minutes into the third quarter.
It's been Warrigul's quarter. Can they capitalise? When I say that, Moe have kicked 2 goals to 1, but they've had all the play. Kick from Desirio goes over the top to Paredes, who's just starting to work into this game with a few touches across half back now. Gave it to Proctor on his defensive 50, got called to play on. He comes towards the boundary side. Kelly has been important this afternoon for Gippsland Isuzu Ute. Swings around, he likes to run. Right foot kick towards half forward. Giardina's going to fly, pushes his opponent in the back.
Yeah, and one of those pretty obvious ones where he probably didn't need to just need to hold his ground and let the ball go over the back.
Lachlan Reese was the one.
Handballs to Biffin. Biffin goes one way, then back from where it came. Ainsworth sets himself over the back. Comes to ground. Great work. Is that Proctor again? Proctor handballs over the top. Looking for Horseman. And cutting the ball off there for Moe was Stanley. We'll see the ball out of bounds for a boundary throw in right in front of the coach's box here.
And Nathan Scar, of course.
Yep. Right in front of me.
Thanks for the chat, Scar. Great work. Ball comes back into play. Back into play. Good work by Mulqueen, but just missed the target on his handball. Fleming does the over-the-shoulder one to Greg, who couldn't quite get it. Standing up there was Morrow, and Greg jumps on him, and Coombs says, "Get off me, teammate."
I'll talk now, Scott, if you want.
Please do.
They are both sides, boys. They're really buggered. They're coming off. They're blowing hard. It is a warmer type day, even though it's nice conditions. Both sides are coming off, and they're all spent.
Good tap there by Horseman, and working hard was Wood at ground level. Likewise was his opponent there in. Looks to be James Davidson. Again, we've got a ball up. 23 minutes have gone. The margin is right on 20 points. Farrell does well, but over the back, though, looks to be, is it Emery? He kicks it high inside 50. Sarong will fly, but Stanlake will hold his ground and take a chest mark in the end. And he has been fantastic.
Had the switch on. Sorry, Daryl.
I was going to say you can test drive the new MY18 D-Max and MUX at Gippsland Isuzu Ute. They're at 18 Saskia Way, Morwell.
Goes long down the line, a tap forward. Can't find Van Dyke on the first go. Goes back to Dugan. Dugan can't find Pearce. Good pressure work there by Warrigul. Coombs there to get up, as is Kelly. Kelly's going to get a free kick. Didn't see what that one was. Plays on quickly. The Daisy Cutter finds Mitch Nabilius. Half forward flank. Goes to the backside. That's a great kick because on the end of it is Giardina. Marks in front of Lachlan Reese.
He's been good, hasn't he, Mitch Nabilius?
He has.
Are we following Mitch, Paul?
Yeah, that was his first touch for this quarter, though, but he's been playing okay up till then.
So Daniel Giardina puts the ball on the ground. He's going to back himself. Will kick from just on or just inside the 50-metre arc.
How do Ruckman kick him, Scuzz?
Straight.
I don't reckon.
All right, as he comes in from 49. If you don't reckon, he doesn't reckon either. And another minor score, which could come back to haunt them. I think they've had all the play. I feel that they've had a very good quarter, yet Paul Carter, the margin still 19 points, and it was 16 at half-time.
And McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard says Warrigul 5-10-40. They're trailing by 19 points. 9-5-59's Murray. Inside 50s this quarter, 15-7 Warrigul's way.
Well, it says a lot. Stanley can unload and get it nearly inside the square. It does. Pearce couldn't quite mark it, but over the back. This will come off. Van Dyke gave it across to Pearce. He chipped it out wide. It just bounces away from Scott Van Dyke. It allows... Oh, he's going to be under pressure again, Hefford.
I was waiting for it.
Coombs just dives on the football. Nearly gave away a free kick. Great little pick-up. Swooping on that one. They hand out towards Kelly. Sold the candy. Comes back inboard. Nice kick. Found teammate in Angus Embry. They build up inside the square. Gets on the left foot. Chips it. Leading target. No, Biffin's going to stand in front of it again. Delivery inside forward 50 hasn't been the best. And opportunities for goal haven't been the best in this quarter for the Warrigul side.
They just need a bit more composure. They're trying to force that perfect kick, and they just need to either put it to the favoured side of their forward as Moe goes long down the line, marking nicely on true centre wing. Inside the boundaries, Tommy Long has an option over the top. Dugan has to fight from the back position because DeCirio worked to the front. He's got support. Great numbers out there for Moe as Van Dyke gets a kick to the top of the square. Great contest. Ainsworth overruns it inside the forward 50 for Moe. Good pressure inside forward 50. It looks to be Zach Fleming. Gets the ball off. Snap on goal towards goal, and going through is Scott Van Dyke. That could be our Gippsland Live goal of the day, Scott Van Dyke.
How often do you see that, boys, when Warrigul's had all the play, just couldn't put it on the scoreboard, and Moe go down the other end and kick easy goals? They've done it 3 this quarter, but they just need to finish their goals off, Warrigul. They've had all the play.
McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard says Moe back to a 25-point lead. 26.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Moe a 10-5-65, leading Warrigul 5-10-40.
Boys, the changes that Warrigul made at half-time have now switched around again. There's both the Cerios were back across half back then in the last couple of minutes. Of course, Paredes goes back into the middle, so they're certainly mixing things around, and it might just be a little bit unsettling for them in the middle, as again they have to work hard for a horseman. But coming off the line there was Ainsworth, who kicks a barrel inside 50, and when you're in the front spot you get rewarded within the back, as this time it's Jaden Van Dyke. Just said, I saw what my brother did a couple of minutes ago. I'm going to go back, and well, I think he can match it if he kick a barrel from 60, Jaden, but I've got a feeling this might be passed off, as Jaden Van Dyke has it. You'd think he'd be too far out to score. Blazer looks for one out the wide. That's ignored. He's a long way from home. No one really presents, so he's going to have a go at it. I wouldn't be surprised if this drops short. It's on its way. It's going. It's a couple of metres short, right to the goal line. And over it goes for a minor score. 27.5 minutes have gone, and the margin is extended by 10 points from half-time. Paul.
26-point lead at the 28-minute mark almost of this quarter. 10-6 Moe, 5-10 is Warrigul.
As the kick in for Warrigul has gone out of bounds, Ainsworth takes a free kick, chip over the top, just inside forward. And there it is. That's why, because the siren has gone three-quarter time, as predominantly the play was all for Warrigul, but on the scoreboard it says Moe kicked 3-1 in that term and extended their margin out to 25 points, Darryl.
Well, it certainly was a big one. It is Gippsland Live on TRFM. Thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland. They've got over $200 million of stock, which is priced to clear. And this is Gippsland Live.
Easier target rather than trying to force a really difficult kick or a really difficult mark from a forward 50 option.
Paul?
Sorry, just quickly, just allow the likes of Biffin and Stanlake and Charlie Rennis just to peel off their men and help out their defenders.
Stats in that quarter, 16-9 inside 50s Warrigul, 8-2 with the clearances.
One more thing, Darryl, we quickly might have another draw coming up because
told you.
It's all square at Melbourne, St Kilda and the Giants.
Well, Paredes through this stoppage, bursts out of it, delivers inside 50, he goes, looking for a target, picking that off, beautifully done. Slipping
trouble.
over. It falls in the hands now of, over there was Morrow. And again,
those missed opportunities, isn't it?
30 seconds in could have been a great start, and they had the opportunity in that third quarter as well, as Well, he was very unlucky. He made all the play, did Lachlan Reese, and just slipped over at the crucial time.
And an early look at the Turnbull Gippsland scoreboard. In the first minute, 25-point lead to Moe. They attend 6 to Warrigul, 5-11.
So let's see how long this lasts, boys. DeCirio, and I talk of Luke DeCirio up forward now, and Ash has played down back for the majority of the game. Let's see how long it does last, because I think when he's forward, they certainly have looked better. Great work from the stoppage.
Jay Murphy
Kicks it towards the wing. In front there was Pearce, who's on Stevenson, who marks. Blazer calls for it. Probably shouldn't have given it. And it's picked off. Coombs was there. Gathers it. Shrugs one tackle. Got around. Blazer knocked the footy out. Now he goes to ground. Coombs works hard. Twisting around. Inside.
just said, Harry Sim, get out of my way.
Tumbling around. And
you said before, Darryl, you haven't seen Harry Sim ever go to ground. Well, Coombs certainly preferred to that. Just barreled him.
That's one way of putting him down. So we got the stoppage on centre wing. Up they go again. Two ruckmen sort of look at each other, do a bit of a sidestep. Paredes stood up in it. Blazer. Paredes got his handball away somehow. Couldn't quite. Now it squeezes out there towards Nobelius. Big tap by Farrell, trying to clear it into the middle of the ground. Where's the run? Proctor was one of those. Bounced over his head. Sarong got driven into the ground. And the umpire said, my ball, Matt Pearce. Great tackle.
Really good work there, just stopping any forward thrust there from Warrigul. Just off the side of the centre circle as Farrell knocks it forward. Comes to Hefford. Hefford gets a kick to half-forward flank. All the way back there by himself is Charlie Rennes for Moe. Marks unopposed. Switches a play. Finds his partner in crime. Stanlake leaves it behind. But he still does enough to get rid of Drew. Runs and bounces. Chips the ball up to Greg, who slips but does gather. Marks on centre wing. Calling for an option forward. Goes wide, looking for Dugan. That's a nice kick. Dugan, really good pressure. At ground level is Wood. Just handballs a handball forward.
Oh, nice.
Just hacks it forward. Great work back there by Warrigul, and clearing the play there is Michael Lynn. His kick, though, is out in front of Horseman and goes out for a boundary throw-in.
Well, 5-11-41 Warrigul. They trail Moe 10-6-66.
30 seconds to go in St Kilda GWS, and it's on centre wing, and it still scores are level.
I told you. I said there was going to be a draw today. I just thought it was going to be here, but we're going to have two. The Gippsland Power Boys, of course, drawing this afternoon against the Northern Knights from this stoppage. Hefford works hard. Overran it. Greg just slapped it on his boot quickly. Bounces to the top of the square. Dean does well to tap it out. Working hard was Van Dyke. Goes to ground. Out there is Long. Twisting. Gives it back now to Jaden Van Dyke. Has a shot at goal. The tumbler is going to go through. And they're the opportunities the Lions have taken. And on the other hand, Warrigul don't. And that's been the difference this afternoon at Western Park.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Scud. The amount of inside 50s are relatively even, but they just seem to be finishing these goals. They've had a little bit more luck in their forward 50 than what Warrigul have today.
And on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard, Moe are now leading by 31 points, 3-minute mark of the final term. 11-6-72 the Lions. The goals are 5-11-41.
Can confirm as well around the grounds, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland, it is a draw between St Kilda and GWS. So Darryl called it.
There you go.
There's been two. Gippsland Power had a draw. Now St Kilda GWS have a draw.
Horseman got up. Trying to crash through was Darnell Grech. Footy comes out towards Hefford. Sidesteps his opponent. That was Davison, Nobelius, sorry. Got it out towards DeCirio. Nice work. Tapped it over the top to himself. Gets his left foot to it. Towards centre half forward it goes. Davidson couldn't quite mark it. Has to work hard down at ground level. Does Proctor. Tries to get a hand on it. Gang tackled there by the Lions. And we're going to ball up true centre half forward.
Just the last 2 seconds of that game too, Darryl. St Kilda had an inside 50 and a drop mark about 30 metres out. Would have been a sure win for the Saints.
It's fairly typical of St Kilda as a whole, you'd think.
Don't you love Richmond supporters?
What was wrong with that?
That would have been Richmond 3 years ago.
Well, we want to flag. Comes back out towards, nice little handball from Murphy. Tried to get it towards DiVigilio. It was that Jacob Wood just stood there and just waited for the pressure to come. Tried to crash his way through was Nobelius. Squeezed a handball out. Good run by Hefford. Nearly got chased down from behind, but the delivery's beautiful. Out towards Kim Drew, who's gone forward. He tries to centre this one up. Over the top. Stanlake picks it off. takes off, has 1 bounce. He can have 13 if he wants. That's his second. Make it 3. Make it 4 bounces. He has 5. He gets to the wing, delivers towards half forward, looking for Pearce, who will go up. Goes back, couldn't quite mark. Stevenson has to work hard. Pearce goes again. Stevenson the pressure. Pearce handballs back towards Wood. Couldn't quite get through the tackle of Hughes. And we'll have a ball up inside 50. Mitch Stanlake. Well, he needs a break.
The only thing is for him, he's on the other side of the ground and can't get across to the bench for a breather. Have the ball up, 40 metres out. As Horseman knocks it forward.
It's going back that
Goes
direction.
to Michael Lynn. Lynn clears the area. Going out there is Nick Mulqueen, ducks inside of Farrell. Looks to find a target inside the corridors. That Proctor slips at the wrong time. Meeting him head on is Biffin. Picks the ball up. Gets to half forward. Goes inside 50. Has numbers out wide. Scott Van Dyke takes a strong mark. 48 metres out. 45-degree angle. Had a couple of options out there. And Jake Hughes couldn't quite get there. He's probably a bit too far out. Greg runs in for a sneaky little handball. Doesn't give it. Van Dyke gets the ball forward to the top of the side. Tell you what, that's why.
Who said too far out? He's pointed straight to you, Troy Makepeace.
I reckon the Warrigul supporters in front of the scoreboard said, you're too far out. And he said, how about that for too far out? That could be our Gippsland Live goal of the day.
Yeah, and that's just summed up the whole day, hasn't it, boys? As soon as they go forward, Moe, they always seem to put a score on the board, and they've done it again today. They're just their composure going forward. That was an unbelievable run back there as well from Stanlake off half back. That's the part that got it in there, and they've locked it in and finished it off well.
Scott Van Dyke's third goal takes Moe to a 37-point lead. 6-minute mark final quarter. Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard 12-6-78 Moe. Warrigul 5-11-41.
It's been a good bounce back by this Moe side, who were humiliated last week against Sale. Back in the middle they go. Blazer squeeze one out towards, that time was Murphy. Goes towards half forward. DiVigilio is there. Gathers it. Tries to get away from the tackler in Michael Lynn. And it goes over for a boundary throw in. 65.5 metres around from Moe's goal.
That clearances, Paul.
This quarter 4-2 Warrigul's way.
Just repeating, we've had a draw in the AFL, and the Gippsland Power Boys have had a draw this afternoon, which I tipped. As Blazer has it, swings around, handballs over the top now to Harry Sim. Goes back to his left, gets a handball away to Van Dyke in traffic, kicks it to a hot spot. Ainsworth's got a couple to beat, couldn't do so. DiVigilio does well at ground level, squeezes a handball out towards Matty Pearce, who unloads. It's raining goals at Western Park, and the Lions get another one. We're out to a game high 43-point margin.
Well, it's just the pressure, isn't it, from Moe? They've broken them now. Like, they're just so far on top. I don't think Warrigul's put the cue in the rack yet, but I think Moe's just running away with it. They've just got a lot of run in their legs, and you can just see them all over the ground. They're just moving all the time.
The Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard now sees Moe lead by 43 points. 8-minute mark last quarter. 13-6-78 Moe's score to Warrigul 5-11-41.
Scoreboard certainly doesn't indicate what type of game we've had. It's been a cracking game of football, but at the end of the day, it is a 43-point margin, and the Lions have been fantastic.
Giardina and Farrell. Mark this one down to Farrell, but Coombs picks it off. Handball's nice one over the top to Nobilius. He overruns it though. Greg fumbles a little bit. That invites pressure. With that pressure becomes a overzealous tackle, and Greg will win a free kick for too high. Just stretching out the cramp, as Scuzz has mentioned plenty of times. It's pretty warm down there. Handballs off to the running Biffin, running through the centre circle.
Here we go, Dugan.
Long. Dugan sets himself, gets it worked under the ball, goes over the top. That looks to be, is that
Kelly?
Farmer. Farmer overruns it. Kelly picks it up for Warrigul, and he's going to get outside defensive 50, looking for Giardina. Brings it to ground. Farrell gathers at ground level for Moe. Handballs forward to Ainsworth. Handballs inside to DiVigilio. Gathers at 45. Chips the ball to the top of the square. That is a disciplined kick.
Great kick.
Working in nicely was that man, Scott Van Dyke. He's got 3 for the day, lining up for his 4th. Big Dylan Farrell has had a mountain of a game for Moe. Just winning that 50-50 contest, and a disciplined kick there by, was that DiVigilio?
Certainly was. Best on ground for Gippsland Isuzu Ute this afternoon. The new D-Max and MUX at 18 Saskia Way in Morwell. as Scott Van Dyke never likes to be beaten, as Dugan's got 5. Now he gets 4 and he's closing in. He doesn't like to be the second fiddle. He wants to be the leading goal scorer this afternoon for this Lions outfit.
And I mentioned it in the last play, boys, that the run from Biffin off half-back, they just run and carry the footy. They're young side, Moe, and they just like to run, and that's what they've done today, especially in this last quarter. They get the footy and they run and they draw and they link up with their handballs, and it's eventually paid off. They had a lot of pressure from Warrigul and they've stood up to it, and now they're running away with it. And
the lead's now out to a 49-point margin in Moe's favour. And on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard, we've got Moe at the 10-minute mark of the final quarter, 14-6-90 to Warrigul, 5-11-41. And the last 5 inside 50s have all been to Moe.
Ball back in the middle. Up they go again. Farrell again knocks it down in the direction of Fleming, who was tackled immediately. As we've got another ball up.
Is that clock right, Paul?
It is the 11-minute mark of the last quarter.
Yeah, not the 7 or 8-minute mark as it is listed here on the scoreboard. Good little tap over the back, wasn't it? They didn't quite run onto it, the Lions. So Warrigul will go forward. It is Luke DeCerio unloading with a drop pump, but reading this nicely, Mitch Stanlake. We've said that a number of times this afternoon. If it's not Stanlake, it's Rennitz. If it's not Rennitz, it's Biffin. And then it gets it out towards Prestige, who's had a great game as well for this Lions defence. Comes back towards Biffin, who holds it up. He's got Rennitz if he wants. He can go further out wide. He decides to come inward to Braganolo. And this defensive unit of the Lions have stood tall this afternoon, gets it back out towards the newcomer in Murphy, who got dumped and will earn himself 50 metres, and he'll get dumped after the game, you'd think, as well, full of Powerade or water bottles, whatever it may be. Because he'll go on, he'll stand in the middle of a circle for his first game in senior football for the Lions with a victory.
Has not looked out of place at all as well.
The umpire just said they've got to wait. We need a photo first, and then you can put it inside forward 50 again.
Marked the mark. Why couldn't he?
It's up to the player, I would have thought. But so they hold things up, which allows the defenders to come in. As Murphy now kicks to the shallow pocket. Dugan's going to fly. Doesn't get there on DeCerio's head. And he has thrown his body at everything this afternoon.
You got to take courage to stand in front of him, don't you? Because if he doesn't mark it, he'll crash it.
Well, he's got a crook knee. We know it's I think a little bit of bone on bone they talk about with Dugan's knee, but he pushes through. He's got 5. He's been rewarded this afternoon with a great game. Horsford crashes through into the newcomer. Fleming puts his left boot on it. Not 15, was it? Yes, it was. Marked by Sam Russell. Comes inboard, danger kick. Mulqueen's up for it. Takes the mark, he can get out wide. Davison presents for him on the half-back flank, goes in that direction. Handballs quickly now across to Embry. Goes back to Davison, who can run and carry, have one bounce. Puts the burners on, gets close, took on Ainsworth, and was okay, but then gave up the football. Gave it towards Van Dyke, twisting. Now it's back to Ainsworth. Gives it towards Stanlake of the Lions. Gets round one, squeezes a handball to Wood. Wood from 49, sold to Candy, had a shot from 40 in the end, and it's coming back. And Jacob Wood said, I'll run away from the defender and put it through. And the Lions are on fire. It's 55 points, and they're home.
They're definitely home there, boys. I've got some bad news, though, for Moe. I've just seen Dugan come off holding his left hamstring. So we've seen in the last contest him come down and feel something, but he's just come off with holding his left hammy.
And we've played 14 minutes into the final quarter. The Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard has Moe at 15-6-96. Convincing lead over Warrigul, 5-11-41.
Just blown this game way out of the water has the Moe Lions. 5-0 in this last term. As Horseman knocks it forward. Blazer there for Moe. Scott Van Dyke also there. Handball's a nice handball out to Jay Murphy. Murphy goes wide to the half-forward flank. Flying in from the side is Di Virgilio. Gathers at the second attempt. Hurry kick forward. Reading the play nicely in. Marking in front is Jaden Van Dyke for Moe. And he will line up for Moe's 6th of the quarter. 25 metres out on a slight angle. And
wouldn't be surprised if his brother. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if his brother just works around the back here somewhere and looks for a handball, even though it's only 15 metres out.
He's quite content, is Scott, to watch brother Jaden put the ball on the boot.
He would have. He should have.
Near side. He should have, Darryl. Exactly right. because he's missed.
I reckon in the backyard, every time they would have, growing up, those boys, Jaden would have kicked it to Scott, and Scott would have kicked the goal. And if ever Jaden said, I want to go forward and kick a goal, Scott would have said, no, I'm the forward. You just kick to me.
As Daryl continues the conversation with himself.
It's a 56-point lead to Murray on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. They're 15-7-97. Warrigul 5-11-41. 15.5-minute mark last quarter.
Kick goes directly down the middle. Found Nabilius for Warrigul, who's had a good game this afternoon. But he's been, it's been a great game. He got out wide towards Stevenson, who didn't mark it. Comes to ground again. The handball goes towards Ainsworth, in towards Van Dyke. This is Jaden, shrugging one tackle. Handballs over the top to Sim. Holds onto it. Kicks it backwards to his coach in Blazer. And he goes across the ground at the feet of Fleming. Stevenson worked hard as well. It was Sarong that was working out at ground level. Biffin, though, swooped on it. Gave it out the back to Prestige. That time it was Bragadolo. His kick just missed the target. Allowed Horseman to come in, try to handball over the top to Sarong. Now he can get it. As Horseman goes on with it with Fleming. The footy pops out towards Morrow, who's high up the ground. And picking that off, guess who?
Stanley.
Exactly, Troy.
Plays on quickly, goes to his half-forward flank. Leading up nicely there is Ryan Farmer. Farmer about 80 metres out from goal. Goes to the danger spot, 40 metres out. Pearce sets himself, works to the front.
Free kick.
Gives away a free kick going towards Stevenson for Warrigul. Said he was holding on. As we're just coming up to 17 minutes into this final term, as Stevenson goes short, finds Emery. Emery's been good today for Warrigul. Chips one over the top to Sarong. He's been quiet. Goes to centre half back. He finds his teammate there in Jack Dean. Been a bit of a slow play. Goes out wide to the wing, looking for his teammate there in Davidson. But he found the opposition there in Ainsworth. He finds Van Dyke inside the corridor.
So Moe lead it by 56 points. 17 minutes in the last quarter. Van Dyke chipped it over the top for Darnell Grech, who's had some afternoon. What's he up to?
27 now.
27th touch as Darnell Grech puts it to the point of the square. It's going to go over the back. Giardina was there, who tried to spoil Stevenson. Now he has to go again. It does Horseman as well. Hit over that football back there was Nabilius. Picked up by Fleming, who put it on the boot, and it was a minor score.
Just quickly, I just want to, just shows how much the back's been broken of the Warrigul side, as Davidson was standing on the mark there and just allowed Grech just free run inside to get inside.
And again, the turnovers happened from the kick in as Sim got it out to Fleming. This time another wobbly punt, and guess what? Same result and same points.
Exactly the same side.
Exactly right. make it 18 minutes gone.
Murray 15-9-99, Warrigul 5-11-41.
DeCirio went inboard and found Mulqueen, who can go towards the scoreboard here at Western Park to find Sarong. Just repeating in the AFL, there was a draw, and repeating in Gippsland Power football against the Northern Knights was a draw as well. The football gets along to the wing where it is DeCirio can gather, has one bounce, it bounces away from him. Then he just kicks a torpedo high up in the air. Reynolds goes back, it bounces away from him. It falls in the hands of Horseman, who got pushed over by Reynolds. He was able to swoop on the football, did Reynolds, win it and kick backwards to Darnell Grech. And Grech will decide to switch it again towards Tyson Biffin, who just ambles out of his defensive 50. The sting has gone out of this game for sure, as Biffin found Ainsworth on a half-back flank.
Ainsworth switches a play diagonally in the centre square to Van Dyke. He goes further afield. It's that man, Stanlake. Finds himself open on the wing. Calling for some players to come at him. Nothing opening up. He goes sideways almost to the boundary line. Comes back inboard, finds Braganolo. That's a nice pass over the top to Fleming. Fleming still about 80 metres from goal. We are 19.5 minutes gone. He's going to go long to the danger zone. Farrell sets himself, flies! Can't get the hands on it. Harry Sim, front and square. Handballs over the top. Misses the old 1-2. And it's that man, Giardina, who clears. Ends up with Proctor. Takes on an opponent. Handballs over the top. That looks to find Drew. Drew can run and bounce. He doesn't. He goes further afield. It's Horseman and Reynolds. Horseman leads him to the ball. Gathers inside. Comes back inboard. Reynolds, great smother. Goes and gets it. He should win himself a free kick for in the back.
Nope.
No. Umpire says ball it in, thank you. 45 metres around from goal in Warrigul's forward 50. 58-point margin in favour of Moe, 20 minutes gone.
And that's on the Turnbull Gippsland scoreboard. See Warren and the team at Turnbull's Gippsland Trfm today, LMCT 2140. Ball comes back into play here. Over the back was Horseman. Working hard there, the ruckman on that occasion was Farmer. Quick kick forward. Goes out of bounds on the full, and it was from Nate Paredes. So Tyson Biffin will bring this one back in. 20 minutes have gone. A 58-point margin. We're going to try and get some around the ground scores for you very shortly, as most results are going the way as expected in the Trfm Gippsland League in round 3. As Moe, just a slow build-up. They chip it over the top. There's some tired bodies out there this afternoon.
Certainly
It's been a hot day.
It's been warm, and it was very intense early on as well. But Moe have just pressured and pressured and pressured, and have a 5-goal final term. Chipping the ball around, it's Prestige. Still on his centre-half back.
Darnell Grech racking them up.
Just ticking them over is Grech. Goes back towards Renitz. Renitz have been absolutely fantastic today. Switches the play out wide. Looking for Reese. Reese has got plenty of time to let the ball bounce and gather. Chips forward to Fleming. Works his man under the ball in Sarong. Puts the pressure on. Davidson there for Warrigul. 1-2. Doesn't come off, and Moe turned the ball over. Jay Murphy finds Stanlake inside the corridor.
So Stanlake decides to switch it to the near side, which is the coach's box side, and Darnell Grech.
He hasn't moved in the last 5 minutes. He's got 15 touches, I reckon.
Goes over the top to Biffin, who can run through the middle. He's the only one that's still running out there. They drive it half forward. Pearce goes up vertically. Couldn't quite get it. Ainsworth got tackled when he didn't have the football. Ball's there in Pearce. Gave it across now to Pearce. It was a snap around his body. Back on the goal line is Prestige fumbling. He faked to get one high. The umpire said, stand up. You didn't get one. Stevenson gave it across to DeCirio. That is Ashley, who gets it out wide to Nick Mulqueen, who takes a mark on the defensive 50. Comes in towards the half-back flank area. Found Morrow. That's Tyson. Out wide to Giardina. Giardina will chip it over the top, looking for Paredes. Finds him. Left foot Paredes around his body's nice. Found Kim Drew from 45. Has a flying shot at goal. And again, a minor score. And they still can't buy one in this final quarter, where Moe have kicked 5 goals. Paul Carter.
5-12-42. That takes Warrigul on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. They're trailing by 57 points. Moe at 15-9-99. We're almost at the 23-minute mark of the final term.
Well, big moments for Monticello's Cellar Artois, Slab or Case, $40. The big moments for me, boys, is when Warrigul, within 30 seconds of this term and 30 seconds of the third term, missed some gettable shots on goal. It could have been a different story. As Biffin plays on from the behinds, goes out wide to Braganolo, still inside defensive 50. Switches the play back across goals. That man Grech, he's just planted himself at half-back flank and gets another possession. He goes back from where it came. Finds his partner in crime out on the opposite half-back back pocket in Stanlake. Chips it over the top to the first gamer in Murphy. He's been good today. Puts his name on the board for next week. His kick down the line finds Tommy Long. Marks just the defensive side of centre wing. Chips the ball inside the corridor. Working up nice and presenting well is Josh Pearce. Pearce handballs off to Murphy. Over the top to the running Tommy Long. Gets to half forward. Kicks it long. 1-on-1. Stevenson and Farrell. Farrell at the front. Great work by Stevenson. Has some support there in DeCirio. Farrell knocks it forward. Tom Kelly just knocks the ball over the boundary line. And we'll have a boundary throw in deep inside Moe's forward 50, 5 metres around from the behind post.
And that was Moe's 40th mark for this quarter.
For the quarter.
For the quarter.
It's been a dominant Moe in this final term. Farrell works to the front, taps it to the corridor. Hefford sharks it off the pack, gets tackled by Blazer, and we'll have another ball up. Just about 15 metres out from goal. We are 57-point margin in favour of Moe.
Big win coming up from Mafra too over Wonthaggi boys, as Wood from the stoppage puts it on the boot and goes through for a minor score. They're looking at a 100-point victory over Wonthaggi there this afternoon. It's been a big one for the Eagles. And the Tigers are struggling against Leongatha. Last score saw the Tigers yet to register a major.
Kidding me, aren't you?
No, 100%, dead set. That was early. They didn't quite get an update during the third quarter. But
haven't had an update since the first quarter for me.
We had 3 points up to half-time, I think it was. Only the one at quarter-time. I think that's right, Troy. But
I was on the money, Makey.
Ball back here. There's a ball, got a boundary throw in.
Is he making his own assumptions?
I was on the money with all getting close to Leongatha.
They turned up in Leongatha. How close they got.
The score we have, Leongatha haven't kicked a great score just yet. I think they only had 3 goals, but a bit going off the footy there with Wood and Mitch Nabilis. But football goes towards Coombs on the half-back line. Does a big don't argue. He's very good at those don't argues. He gave one to Ainsworth. The kick goes out wide in the directions there of Morrow. Quickly tackled by Stanlake. He got his handball away. Paredes was there, tapped it through his legs. Said to his teammate in Morrow, you got to go again. But Stanlake was great to tap it out to the run for his teammate in Murphy, who got it further afield towards Wood. Over the top to Sim. Sim's delivery inside 50. Missed the leading target in long. Good work by DeCirio. The brothers are there. One of them's got it. I think it's Ash. It was Luke who went backwards. Now to Hughes. Now it's Ash. They come back in board to the halfback flank, and nice mark was taken by Embry, who can chip it over the top to Sarong, who runs on good. Smother by Biffin. Sarong has to go again. Back now to Embry. Goes to half forward. Marking that one was Davidson. Chips it over the top to Mulqueen. Inside 50 he is. Probably too far out to score, so he lays it off to a leading target in Morrow, who couldn't mark, and this Moe defence has been fantastic all afternoon. And again, they stand tall, and Charlie Rennitz will be the one that wins himself a free kick. And Paul, we might have to give up following midfielders because the defence of Moe have been fantastic this afternoon.
Certainly have.
Tyson Biffin's been good from a half-back.
29 touches to Tyson Biffin.
I reckon.
Mitch Stanlake, 23.
And I reckon Charlie Rennitz would just about be around that mark as well, Troy.
Right up. It's on half-back flank for Warrigul. DeCirio chips over the top. Emery's been really good for Warrigul. I've been very impressed with his game. He's been in everything. Emery goes long down the line looking for Paredes. Paredes has to take on 3. And those 3 are Rennitz and Grek. But it comes to Mulqueen. Mulqueen goes inside 50, and that's a nice hit-up target. Finds Giardina. Giardina has a player over the top. Marking in the corridor looks to be Jed Sarong.
That could be Dean. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Troy.
Dean.
My mistake. Could be... No, we're right the first time.
Got to back yourself, Darryl.
Yeah, I do. Sorry, mate.
It is Jed Sarong for his... this would be his first shot on goal, wouldn't it? He's been very well held, been pretty quiet today.
Really quiet through the middle, but he's had 8 touches this quarter.
Sarong has left his charge a little bit too late. Lines up for goal. Kicks from 35. That's a nice kick off the boot. That's going to go straight through. And Warrigul will get a consolation goal deep inside this final term here at Western Park.
Also a constellation, boys. How's Darnell Grek? He's got cramp in the exact same spot. He's racked up about 15 touches in this quarter. You can see him limping off now. He hasn't moved, I think, in the last 15, 20 minutes, but he's cramped.
So that takes Warrigul to 6-12-48 on the Turnbull's Gippsland scoreboard. They trail by 52 points, almost at siren time of the final quarter. Moe 15-10, 100.
Coach James Blaze will be certainly happy with this bounce back after, well, heading to Sale and getting done. But the way they've done this today, it's been a hard-fought victory in really hot conditions, 24 degrees this afternoon. The sun's been out. There's been a lot of cramps and a lot of guys are out on their feet at the moment. But this Moe side has stood up. The good victory, 52.1 will be good for percentage because I've got a feeling this season in the Trfm Gippsland League will be very, very tight and very close. As Ainsworth has it across half-back, kicks it towards half-forward. The siren sounds and every player slumps over, hands on heads, on knees. They are absolutely stuffed. But at the end of the day, the Lions get a fantastic victory as they win it by 52 points. It's Moe 15-10, 100. Have defeated Warrigul 6-12-48. On a day where Ash Dugan lit it up early, he had 4 goals in the first half. He finished with 5. And then in the second half, well, it was Scott Van Dyke that turned it on. Well, Scott got 2 goals in the last quarter, but he ended up with 4 for the day, 3 in the second half. It was a focal point up forward for him as well. A really tough effort And a great win by this Moe Lions side, away from the Ted Summerton Reserve that they call their home ground down here at Western Park as Nathan Scurrah walks out. He looks to hope to grab, one of the defenders. He looks to have Charlie Redditz. We're going to throw it down to you, Nathan Scurrah, who's been on the boundary line this afternoon for Carpet Country. When it comes to walls, floors and windows, Carpet Country have Gippsland covered. He's got Charlie Redditz.
Well, mate, good game obviously today. How'd you find it after probably a poorer game last week?
Yeah, it was a good game. Boys really, last week was a bit of the conditions didn't really suit us in the first quarter. Then, yeah, today was really good in the dry, got over the line. So, yeah, it's really good.
How are you feeling, mate? Obviously a nice warm day today. You probably don't train for these conditions during the year, but a hot day and everyone seemed to be buggered, by the end of the day.
Yeah, the first and second quarter really hot. The heat kind of, but then the third and fourth, the clouds cover started coming over and it was really cooled down a bit. So, yeah, then we kind of got the run on. So,
yeah, would have been a nice, fun last quarter, mate. Sitting back there, everyone was out on their feet. You guys along half back and along the back line there, cleaned up all day, and looks like you've got a good bunch of chemistry down there in the back six.
Yeah, we do. Really gelled together. The last quarter, the forward line really clicked together, and it gave us backs. Gave us a bit of leeway to just, it was good.
Good stuff. Well done, boys.
Thank you very much, Nathan. At ground level, of course, Charlie Redditz, one of the superstars in that back six.